Shalom Israel, hope everybody's doing well today. This is off too, man. That's off too, man. I didn't see how far that was on, man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got yeah. Hope everybody's doing well today. We're about to get class started. We just have to readjust this screen. Keep going. Shalom. That's fun. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was initially. Okay, and I hope everybody's doing well today. Shabbat Shalom. Day of Atonement. Shalom. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's stay strong. Let's get through this high holiday and power through it. Shalom Shalom went into Day of Atonement and the significance of it and the mind you're supposed to have. So we're not going to go over that today. We're going to continue in our topics. Let's send our prayers up real quick and move forward. Okay? Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Award. Tawala.
Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai that gives to us light this day. Thanks, so be it.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Tawala.
Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai that gives to us sweet savor. Thank you, so be it.
Imagine Mupanya Yerushalayim.
Stand and face Jerusalem.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Shabbat. Shalom.
Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai that gives to us the Sabbath in peace. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121. Anasha, Ayanyamya, Ahoyam, Ma'aya, Yabu'a, Isaiah, Yabu'a, Ma, Yahweh, Sha'isha, Shemaiah, Wa'aratiza, La'a, Yanathan, Lamawat, Regalia, Yala'a, Nawam, Shashamaya, Hana, Yala'a, Nawam, Wala'a, Yishan, Sheshamama, Yashua, Yahweh, Shemaiah, Yahweh, Tazalia, Yanyamya, Yad, Hashemas, Yala'a, Akaya, Bayawam, Wala'a, Alabana, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashemaiah, Makom, Right, Yashemaiah, Napasha, Yahweh, Yashemaiah, Awalaka, Wabu'aya, Ma'atha, Wa'ay,
Aman. Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, and even forevermore. Aman.
Israelite Credo. Shema Yahshua, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, Echad. Shema Yahshua, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, Echad. Shema Yahshua, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh,
Echad. Israelite Credo in English. Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord.
Lord's Prayer. Abanoah, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodesh, Hayat, Shemkap, Yahweh, Malak Wafkap, Taba'ah, Ratazakap, Hayat, Aisha, Bar Ratazak, Kawak, Hayat, Bashemayim, Nathananoah, Lachom, Kol, Yawab, Watsalachno, Kol Wathino, Katsalachno, So what you know? Wala up, Tabiano, Wala Sawan, Abo, Hawashano, Mayat, What, Kayat, Laka, Amalakwa, Amen.
Lord's Prayer in English. Matthew chapter 6 verse 9. After this manner therefore pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Amen. The commandments. La'ayahaya, Laka, Alahaya, Achayim, Ayo, Panya.
Thou shalt have no other powers before me.
Number 2. La'ah, Ta'ina, Laka, Kasal, Wala'ah, Ta'ibado.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, nor serve them.
Number 3. La'ah, Talachwacha, Shem, Yehovah, Bashawa.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy power in vain.
Number 4. Zakar, Hayawam, Hashabbat, Rakodashwa.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Number 5. Kabad, Abaka, Ya'amaka.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Number 6. La'ah, Taratazak.
Thou shalt not kill, murder.
Number 7. La'ah, Tana'at.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Number 8. La'ah, Taganat.
Thou shalt not steal.
Number 9. La'ah, Ta'inat, Shakur.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Number 10. La'ah, Tachamat, Kol, Asherah, La'raika.
Thou shalt not covet anything which is thy neighbor's.
Birthday, how about Shem Yahshai?
Birthday, how about Shem Yahshai? Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the law.
Israel Yeshavim.
Everybody seated.
Okay, here we go. Once again, shout out Kawakab and his congregation in Guatemala. Also, shout out or shalom to Stream of Wisdom, Virginia, and Stream of Wisdom, Houston and Rochester. Hope y'all brothers are doing well today. See y'all soon at the gathering with the Feast of Tabernacles, which is next Saturday. Okay? But we're going to get kind of back on and into our classes. The title of the class is The Consequences of Corruption and Infighting Amongst the Priesthood. I want to briefly go back into Malachi, not the entire chapter, but Malachi chapter 1, verse 7 and 8, and then jump to verse 12 through 14, just to get a brief overview of what was happening during this time, because Malachi, the book of Malachi, was written around the same time that Nehemiah was written. Okay? So it's important to know that these two chapters go hand in hand timetable wise. So let's read Malachi chapter 1 verse 7. Karai, let's get you set up real quick.
Karai, Shah Shabbatah. Banashar, Banashar,
Karaya, Shabbat, Barashar, Barashar, Amuch, Yahweh Shem Yahshabakata.
Yahweh Shem Yahshabakatam.
Okay, so let's get back to Malachi chapter 1, verse 7. Malachi is dealing with the issues amongst the priesthood even at the time of Nehemiah. Just want to make sure we get a proper understanding of the time period, because we're going to blend that in with some information we're about to read in the Josephus. So let's read that, Malachi 1 and 7.
Malachi chapter 1 and verse 7. Ye offered polluted bread upon mine altar, and ye say, wherein have we polluted thee? In that ye say, the table of the Most High is contemptible.
What they're saying is, what the issue that the Most High has with the priests at the time is that we were offering polluted bread. Now, it's not physically bread. It was the sacrifices that the priests were offering to the Most High during this time was impure. The animals had flaws and deficiencies, and they had blemishes. That's what the polluted bread was. We were offering polluted or blemished animals as our sacrifices, even though we had good and healthy sacrifices right there at our accessible to us. Okay, so read on.
Verse 8. And if ye offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? And if ye offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto thy governor. Will he be pleased with thee? Or accept thy person? Saith the Lord of hosts.
What he's letting us know is, would even the governor of the region be okay if we gave the governor a blind and a sick damn sheep for an offering, or just for a gift? The governor wouldn't like it. A regular human being wouldn't want some blind animal and some sick animal as a gift.
Yes,
why would we give the Most High that sick and blind animal?
It'd be a mockery to give somebody a gift that's lower than what they deserve.
Exactly.
Especially in the beginning of that Malachi, the Most High has already stated how much He loves us.
Mm-hmm.
So He made it clear, for all the love that I have towards you, it's really a spit in the face to get a low-level sacrifice.
God. And that's the situation. Then you think, yes, in verse 7 he says that the priest looked at the service of the Most High as contemptible. So if it was contemptible, how do we look at the service of the Most High as contemptible? I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm not getting the financial benefits that I think I deserve. That's how we look at the Most. That is a form of looking at the Most High's work as contemptible.
Yeah.
Think about what they're doing. I'm going to give up these sickly animals I can't do nothing with, so I can keep my healthy ones. That was a financial decision. That was about money and saving a buck or earning a buck. That's another reason why it's contemptible. Why would I give up my sick ones and my ones I can't get nothing out of and not give up my good ones? That's cost cutting. Mm-hmm. That's saving money. A lot of times our people just aren't content with having our daily bread. We want more. So when we start wanting more, we start thinking of schemes to work around and navigate to get more. So what the priest read here is, we're going to give the Most High a bare minimum by giving him all these crappy sacrifices and keeping the sacrifices we want. For breeding purposes, to sell them, to make ends meet.
Yep.
It's all about making money. So, let that go. No, we're not letting it go. Let's jump down.
Or we'll even give the Most High garbage time.
Yep.
Time that we weren't going to do nothing with anyway.
Yep.
But we spend the majority of our day thinking about the things we want to accomplish.
The freshness of our mind and energy is in our pursuits. When we have nothing left in the tank, then we sit back here and try to give the Most High some time. This is exactly what it is. So, let's jump to verse 12.
Malachi chapter 1 and verse 12. But ye have profaned it, in that ye say, the table of the Most High is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, is contemptible.
Mm-hmm.
Ye said also, behold, what a weariness is it?
The reality is, the priest got to the point that it was wearisome, it was tiring, it was annoying and aggravating to do the work of the Lord. This is where the priest had diminished to. Doing the service of the Most High was annoying, aggravating. I'm not getting anything out of this. There's got to be an easier path for me to go. Okay? Read verse 13 from the top.
Verse 13. He said also, behold, what a weariness is it, and ye have snuffed at it, saith the Lord of hosts.
A lot of times we snuff at all the grace the Most High has given us. We snuff at the blessings. We snuff at the good he's done for us in our life. All we can focus on, when a person snuffs at the good, he is convinced and consumed with what he doesn't have. This is the sickness that leads to corruption. When I'm just hyper-focused on my sufferings, my loss, what I don't have, how low my finances are, how uncomfortable I am, then the mind starts going into how can I get what I want by legal means. So he said we're snuffing at all the good and the constant benefits he gives us. And we look at this service that we have the Most High as contemptible, as aggravating and annoying. So what we do in response is that we just give even less of our effort towards the Heavenly Father because we're just not appreciative of everything he's given us. The crazy thing is how quickly the priests forgot. We had our own city. We had our own walls. Mm-hmm. We had our own temple. We had to pay our taxes to our governors and our leaders. Well, at least we had some type of sovereignty. And as soon as things get peaceful in our life, what do our mind go into? Our mind is always focused on what? What is the next thing I don't have? After this thing is accomplished, after this blessing has already happened, the walls got completed, so we don't have to worry about immediate war. So now let me focus on what's the next immediate frustration I have. What's the next sadness that I got going on in my life?
Or I took care of God's work. God's work is done, so now it's time to do my work. Because we separate time for that too. I did my job for God. You know, I did everything I was supposed to do. So what about me?
That's the point. I'm hyper focused on what now. What's the next thing I don't have in my life? It's always what do I not have in my life? How is my life unhappy? And I'm hyper focusing on this point in chapter 1 because it leads right into what the Josephus talks about and how the Most High responds to our lack of gratitude. Okay?
Listen, and people make themselves unhappy because when Israel lacked, they were still thinking about themselves anyway.
Yeah.
It really proves that when Israel was lacking and didn't have walls, didn't have certain things, their personal concern was still their personal affairs. They just were suffering with the nation.
Yeah.
So now the nation is no longer suffering. It's the same program. I'm still hyper-focusing and fixating on my personal needs over the nation.
Yeah.
Israel has an inability to operate based on priority. We have priority issues.
And because we just, you know why? Because we don't want to live a life of servitude. We'll serve for a little, like Shamshawan said, we'll serve for a little bit.
That's true.
Listen, how long do I got to do this God thing for? How long do I got to be on point for? That's the question nobody outwardly says, but that's what they're thinking.
It's like eating healthy. I'm looking for a cheat day.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for a cheat day. I'm supposed to be eating healthy.
But the problem is the cheat day turns from one day to every day.
Yeah.
And you sit back, you're looking for snacks all the time.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something sugary. I gotta find something sugary.
I got a little sweet tooth in the back of my mouth.
And you sitting back here eating walnuts, and you sit back here, you eating these dry ass walnuts. You say, "Where those sugary walnuts at? They got them somewhere that they do that."
Covered.
And chocolate or the sugary covered at the sugary roasted at.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still what? I'm still eating walnuts.
Yeah.
It's still healthy for me. It's only 30 calories more.
Yeah. It's all sugar.
I ain't eating sugar. Why can't you just eat the dry walnuts that are good for your brain and your health?
It's not enough.
No, I want the sugary thing. But this is us. Always looking for comfort and pleasure. Now check this out. Read verse 14.
We've trained ourselves to look for comfort and pleasure.
Kinda.
We didn't train ourselves to deny ourselves.
Kinda. That's exactly what it is. So let's get verse 14.
We didn't finish 13.
Finish 13. Read 13 from the top then.
Great time. Malachi chapter 1 and verse 13. He said also, behold, what a weariness is it, and ye have snuffed at it, saith the Lord of hosts.
Listen, we look at serving the Most High as a weariness, as a headache, as a burden. Read on.
And ye brought that which was torn, and the lame.
That means an animal that was attacked, bloody, maybe had lost a leg, lost a limb. Read on.
It says, brought that which was torn, and the lame, and the sick. Thus he brought an offering. Should I accept this of your hand?
We do that so we can sit back here and give the offering and still maintain value that we have in our life. We do this all the time. We always do this. We give the Most High the least of our effort in our mind and think the Most High is going to be happy with that. This is why the Most High even with the idea of tithes. It should be at the top of the first thing you give out. Why is it the last?
I'm not winning.
That's the point. I got to make sure everything I got is covered. Then I get the Most High these pennies afterwards. Read on.
It says, saith the Lord, verse 14, but cursed be the deceiver.
Listen, the liar. He's lying to himself. He thinks he's lying to the Most High. But cursed is the liar that does what?
It says, but cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and boweth, and sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing.
He's like, you got what I want. You just won't give me what I'm asking for. You have the male with that doesn't have a blemish in your stable.
As we speak.
But the Levites are like, listen, I got this, but I don't want to give it. Let me give the sheep and animals that I don't want. That are of no value to me. So let me give it to the Most High so I can keep what's valuable to me. This is the spirit that was in the Levites in Malachi, and that's the spirit in us even to this day that we have to make sure we don't give in to. Giving the Most High bare minimum and being mad that he doesn't respect and appreciate our bare minimum efforts.
And the offering that's required by us for the Most High is a perfect manifestation of how we feel about the Lord.
Got it.
That's why the Most High requires an offering anyway, so that he can see how you love him, or if you even love him. So the offering is a reflection of that.
God. And we are showing repeatedly. 2 weeks ago when we was going over Nehemiah 13 was a reminder that what? If Nehemiah wasn't there, they was going to corrupt themselves.
Yep.
2 years away, when he had to do his fulfillment to his Lord in Persia, we sat back here and just went left immediately after he left. And this is dealing with, I can't say it's the exact time he was gone, but this is what the priesthood was about. Given bare minimum effort. Let's finish verse 14 out.
Malachi chapter 1 and verse 14. But cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and boweth, and sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen.
He's still saying the heathen respect me more than y'all. But the whole chapter goes into, and we'll go on to chapter 2, hopefully if there's time today. But I want to go now to the Josephus. In Josephus book 11, chapter 7, paragraph 1. You didn't pull it out today, man. You didn't think it's going to happen, man.
I was bringing up this brother today. I totally forgot.
You're good. You're
It's in
good.
Book 11, chapter 1.
No, it's Josephus. Yeah, book 11, chapter 7,
Chapter 7.
paragraph 1.
Yeah, war.
Huh.
You were saying when the priest was offering, right, and how they were given a certain kind of offering. I looked up what this word meant, stint, and it meant quantity assigned. They were assigning the kind of quality of offering that they wanted to give to the Most High. That was crazy. I sent that to a lot. That was crazy.
Yeah, they were given what they felt.
Pick and choose.
They were picking and choosing. That's what we're saying. Yeah.
But that word stint actually came from the guard. You know what I'm saying? That kind of mindset.
What do you mean the guard?
Nigger.
Guard?
Nigger.
Oh, the guard. Okay.
Yeah, I got that word stint from that word, and that's why I got quantity assigned. They were assigning the kind of quantity that they wanted to give to the Most High.
A small amount.
Crazy.
Because they were trying to sit back here
It's crazy.
and you know nigga, I mean, it's just to hustle.
Yeah.
It's just hustling. I'm just trying to hustle, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn a dollar into 15 cents.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this money, stretch this money out.
Yep.
And it's connected with deep selfishness.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the person, the Nagar spirit,
Yeah.
if you will,
It's taken.
is the spirit of a deep, selfish individual who looks at every opportunity, small or great,
Yeah.
to get some type of extract, some type of pleasure.
That's the word, extract that.
I have to go in there because when you extract something out,
They gotta extract
you're
that.
really putting your focus in. How can I get anything from this? We get mad at Esau.
It's not worth it if I'm not getting anything.
Listen,
out of
Esau will tax every penny you have. He'll tax how much water you put in your house. He'll tax the fact that you got taxes. He's taxing your taxes.
this. Yeah.
They have tax now. They're considering taxing unrealized gains. So if you own property and it can be sold, but it's not sold, they're taxing the fact that if you sell it or if you could sell it, this is how much we should get off of it. So it's called unrealized gains, meaning that you haven't made the transaction, but they're taxing the fact that there's value there, even though you haven't made the transaction. So that's a Nagar spirit at a high level, but we have a Nagar spirit at a low level.
Yes.
Man.
It's
It's
the
the
truth.
truth.
So what ends up happening is the Most High has a reaction to us when we take these moves against the Most High. And it's important that we take our time explaining this because we wonder why a lot of times in our life the Most High makes our life even more difficult than what it is financially and just in life when we tell ourselves we're doing everything we can for Him. Okay? So let this go in Malachi for now. Let's go to, once again, Josephus, book 11, chapter 7, paragraph 1.
Huh.
Let's do this.
Antiquity of the Jews, book 11, chapter 7, and verse 1, page 305. It says, when Eliashib, the high priest, was dead.
Now stop. Eliashib was the high priest during the time of Nehemiah. We know Eliashib was dabbling with corruption because he was the one doing deals with Sanballat and letting Sanballat get a little hotel room on the temple grounds.
Tobiah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Tobiah. I'm sorry, It was Tobiah. He had Tobiah, which is Sanballat's number 2, have a little room, had a little Holiday Inn space in the temple lot,
Yeah.
and it was okay. So Eliashib was doing deals. He was corrupted. He passes on. Okay. The next man up was Judas. Read on.
Huh. His son Judas succeeded in the high priesthood, and when he was dead, his son John took that dignity.
Now different writings have John or Jonathan. It's the same guy though. Now during that third generation, there was one of the priests in training that had married Sanballat's daughter. And Nehemiah had to beat up on him because there was even more wickedness happening in the nation. Okay? So Eliashib was doing deals. Then you had Judas. Then you had Judas' son who was marrying foreigners. So this was corruption at a high level. It doesn't say that John, this one, because there was 2 sons that Judas ended up having. One son was in the foreigners, and then they had another son. Putting two and two together, you can't have a son who has foreigners be the high priest. That's a no-no. But it's a little foreshadowing into a later topic as we get into this chapter. So Judas had two sons, John, and another one, his name was Jesus. Okay? Those are the two sons. But the high priest was John. But during John's time, this next thing was about to happen. Why am I setting it up this way? Because even as we're reading Malachi is explaining that this corruption is heavily embedded into the priesthood from Eliashib down. This corruption is there. This spirit of gaining, this spirit of minimizing and pinching what I give the Most High to maximize what I get. Israel has that equation in their head now.
Yeah.
There's an equation we roll in a lot of times. How much do I got to get the Most High until I start getting things that I need to get to balance out this giving thing? Or when is giving going to be too much? This spirit leads to this response by the Most High. Read on.
God. It says, his son John took that dignity, on whose account it was also that Bagoses, the general of another Artaxerxes' army.
It's another Artaxerxes. This Artaxerxes is Artaxerxes the second, Memnon. Mnenemon. He's letting you know that the Persian Empire is going through a succession of leaders too. Because after Artaxerxes, they started falling down. Mm-hmm. Artaxerxes was the last of the kings that actually mattered in the empire. So there was a descent of quality caliber leaders in the Persian Empire. There's a descent of priesthood. There's just a descent in general. Okay? But the Most High establishes and allows a response because of our negative. So now during this next Artaxerxes reign, Artaxerxes II, he has a captain or a general named Bagoses. And the Most High uses Bagoses to vex us and to reward us for our selfishness and our penny pinching ways. Okay, read on.
God. It says, polluted the temple.
No, read on whose account.
Okay, God. On whose account it was also that Bagoses, the general of another Artaxerxes' army, polluted the temple and imposed tributes on the Jews.
Part of the pollution, as we read later on, is that he just sits back here and goes into the temple. And they can't do nothing about it. You know foreigners aren't supposed to go in there. Even Herod knew that.
Yeah.
But it was a slap in the face to the priesthood that a foreigner can just go in there and sit back and disrespect the temple like that. But why would the Most High allow a foreigner to disrespect the temple? Who was disrespecting the temple first?
Praise.
We were. The priests were disrespecting the temple. So now you're going to sit back here as a priest and be so angry at Bagoses because he disrespected the Most High's holy laws and disrespected the temple and the area that was dedicated to the Lord? When in actuality, we've been disrespecting the temple every day by giving bogus offerings? You see how it doesn't make sense? How hypocritical we are? All the Jews want to sit back and say Bagoses is the wicked man. This is the wicked man that's getting in the way of the Jews' harmony. They said he said he went into the temple, he polluted the temple, and he imposed tributes. So he started taxing the Jews more than normal. So he's letting us know when the taxes start hitting you harder, when you got all these ridiculous bills that just start stacking on you, before you start claiming victim, before you start claiming life is unfair, the first thing you got to ask yourself is, am I or are we acting like those priests that operated in the past, that gave the Most High bare minimum, in the spirit of trying to keep something for you? And is the Most High responding to your selfishness? These are the first things you want to consider when he starts touching you in your life and making your life hard. It might not be that way all the time. But when we show a pattern of being selfish and not wanting to give the Most High what's his, then on the flip side, you're going to get that back. He's going to, Most High going to start sitting back here and making your financial situation even harder.
I have a full scripture for that.
Okay.
Baruch 3 and 8. Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. This is not a SOT philosophy or some independent.
This is the Bible and history.
I just want to go this
SOT
you
philosophy.
that thought. This is some kind of independent idea we have. This is scripture.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 8.
Page 104.
Uh-huh.
It says, "Behold,
Look, read.
we are yet this day in our captivity."
We're in a low position with no personal sovereignty and no ability to maintain ourselves and dictate our whereabouts and dictate our what we bring in our nation or out our nation.
Yeah.
We have no say-so over our lives, our bodies. We have no autonomy, as they say in the modern times. Read.
"Where thou hast scattered us."
And we've been scattered here. We didn't just wake up in America.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We just wake up outside of Israel. We were scattered purposely outside of Israel. Read.
"For a reproach
For
and
what?
a curse."
It's supposed to be a reproach, meaning it's supposed to be a correction. You're here because you're in Texas because you're getting corrected.
Yep.
You're in New York because you're getting corrected.
We're in the ghetto, in the slums, because we're getting corrected.
Because you're being corrected. Not that you're being the victim, it's because you're being corrected.
Yeah.
Read.
"And to be subject to payments."
And to be what?
To be subject.
You're subject. Meaning that you gotta do this. You gotta pay this. You have to. Whether you like it or not. You are subject to what?
To payments.
To payments. Because you wouldn't give the Most High's do. You wouldn't pay the Most High. You wouldn't give the Most High your life.
I know.
You wouldn't give the Most High your sheep. You wouldn't give the Most High your children, so they gotta pay court fees. They gotta sit here and buy lawyers.
Tickets, Zach.
Tickets, court fees, lawyers, keeping my son out of prison. That's a payment. Paying bills for water, that's a payment.
Inflation is getting worse and worse and
Inflation
worse.
and everything you buy is less. Either you're spending money for something and you're getting less product in return. You're buying a big bag of air with this much chips. You're getting a big bottle of soda.
facts,
Now you get a
bro.
little can. You have a little can. It's a little can of Sprite. This grown man with big hands out in a little can. What is that? You're still thirsty. You got to buy 2 sodas to get the equivalent of 1.
Yeah.
Right? And they call it Bidenomics. You know, we can call
That's what they call
we
it.
can blame it on Biden.
Instead of
Yeah,
Bible.
I blame it on Biden. I do. I blame it on him all the time. But you know what? The Most High has to sting us as a nation because we accept all these low-level ideas. That's another story. Read.
But I want to just bring something on that. But listen, he says, listen, when you're subject to payments, I don't give a damn what time in history you lived in.
Yeah.
Everybody's living on a budget from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you're sitting back here subject to more payments, what does that do to your bottom line? There is no extra.
Yeah.
Well, what is everybody vexed about? After I pay my bills, I have nothing what?
There's no surplus. There's no excess.
That's the point. So while the Most High hits you, He takes away all of your extra.
Yeah.
By you being submitted to payments, and you look up, you have nothing left.
The little you thought you
And you
had.
got to wait to this next check just to sit back here and be even and trade water for the next month. That existence is what causes riots and anarchy and
Why
anger.
am I working when I still have nothing?
All I'm doing, I'm working just to sit back here and have nothing next month. And have just enough to pay my bills next month. And then next month, guess what? There's no hope to get out of it. It's just hell month to month to month. But think about this. This is what was happening to the priest. The priest had freedom though. And the priest had enough to give the Most High the best of their offerings and just be at peace with paying out to their governors a certain portion of their monies. Because don't forget, before they were given the Most High little to nothing, they still had to pay the first Artaxerxes, didn't they?
You have revenues. You owe revenues.
They had to pay revenues anyway. But because Israel was penny pinching and skimping on the Most High, now he has Bagoses coming here and impose more tributes on the Jews. This wasn't the one tribute. These are additional tributes.
It was a tax hike.
It was a tax hike. More of their money and more of their comforts were being taken away.
Yeah.
This is how the Most High squeezes you. Squeezes us. You want to be selfish? You want to put yourself first? I'm going to hit it where it hurts. You're going to sit back here and you're going to be on PB&J every day.
Ramen.
You're going to be living on ramen because you don't sit back and appreciate me. This is how he does us. How am I going to get gas to get to work tomorrow? I might have to take the bus.
Might get a bicycle.
Or get a bike. I'll be sweaty as hell.
Get a combination lock and be out there
doing this. You better bring the bike inside. You're going to take the bike.
Listen, they're going to get the bike. They got the little clips out. They cut it.
That's my point. You can't keep the bike outside.
It's real, bro.
But this is how the Most High stings you. Because we just don't want to give the Most High his. So he'll take more from you. So the question is this. Either you give the Most High what he wants and you'll be able to sustain yourself, or you're stingy and he'll take away the little comfort you got. We think we're slick. But what's happening in Malachi is going on congruently with what's happening in Josephus. All of a sudden, Bagoses just wakes up and says, I want to piss these Jews off and take more money from them. That don't even make sense. The Most High put that spirit in this guy to sit back and hyper-focus on the Jews and vex the Jew. But this is how the Most High does us. Why is my boss tripping on me today? Maybe my outlook is crappy towards the Most High. People don't correlate that. How my boss looks at me at the job in comparison to how I look at the Heavenly Father when I'm supposed to do his job.
Because we conveniently disassociate those reactions or situations to randomness. It's just random.
Yes.
Nothing is random.
I didn't do anything to my boss for my boss to start treating me horribly.
I did nothing to deserve this.
Shit. How are you treating the Most High? How are we operating with the Most High for all these outside sources to start dealing with you and attacking you? Hold this and give me Proverbs 21:1.
Okay,
What you got?
Before you get there, can we go to 1 Samuel 2 and 7?
Yeah. 1 Samuel 2 and 7.
And I want to read the end of that 3 and 8 real quick.
I'm sorry.
We're still going 2 and 7.
I'm sorry.
In 3 and 8 real quick.
It says, Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. B portion.
20.
It says,
2 and 7.
where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment.
You are now subject to payments. Nationalistically, on a tax level, or individually, we start stinging your horse, your chariot, your house, anything you have, that any of your personal needs. Read. What else?
It says, according to all the iniquities of our fathers.
Because you are mirroring and you are patterning the opinion and iniquities of your fathers. You're following bad examples. Bad examples in the past, you're following the same examples that God has cursed in the past. Simple as that. Now go to 1 Samuel 2 and 7. 1 Samuel 2 and 7. Then we're going to Proverbs. But 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 7.
First Samuel chapter 2 and verse 7. It says, the Most High maketh poor and maketh rich.
The Most High makes a man have surplus and abundance at his will. And the Most High decreases man's resources and surplus and abundance. There is no surplus. There's no abundance. There's a decrease at his will. Based off of our conduct towards him, or it's a test to see how you handle it. But when we're put in this position of poverty, do you give the Most High less because you feel like he gave you less?
That's exactly what we do.
That's the question. Either you're being challenged and tested, are you a faithful man in this position? Can you be lacking? Can you lack and still be a faithful, righteous man? or he's like, you know what, this is a reaction to you already being ungrateful. Either way, it's a challenge. Your financial estate is from God.
Yep.
Read that point one last time. Just read it slow.
God. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6,
Read.
7. It says, the Most High maketh poor.
The Lord maketh poor. That means it's not random. What a killer idea of it being random.
Yep. It's true. Listen, with that, go to Proverbs 21:1.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
So it goes back to the fact that the Most High is the one that controls the king and the governor's heart. So if this boss, this king, this leader starts imposing more taxes on you and being harder on you, who is that coming from?
The Most High.
That's the Most High doing it. We always want to run when the boss is hard on us. Maybe the boss is hard on you because you're hard on the person that you're supposed to serve. How about that? How about you're unmerciful and negative to the person you're supposed to be in order with? So the Most High puts a boss over you that's going to make your life miserable.
That's crazy.
Or impose taxes and fines on you that cripple you and break you. Because you weren't going to give that to the Most High. So why should you have it in your pocket? Look what these priests were doing. The priests were pocketing funds, pocketing resources, and not giving the Most High his. So the Most High, I'm going to fix you. I'm going to take that money you're pocketing, and you're going to give it to Bogosis.
Either way.
You were supposed to give it to me. So you don't give it to Bogosis. You don't give it to me, cool. You don't give it to Bogosis. It's still going to be in your hands. You're going to give up these animals. You're going to give up these sacrifices, and you're going to be broker than if you would have been broke giving it to me.
Yeah, you're going to have twice the...
Or
Yeah.
Esau will do a warrant roundup out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And do door visits, and knock on doors, and start knocking on doors for everybody that got a warrant. The warrant you forgot about. That the Most High was merciful on. The Most High had Esau, for whatever reason, start doing a warrant roundup.
It happens, bro.
And then you're like, damn, I forgot I had warrant. Don't open the door. Nobody open the door.
Everybody,
yeah, everybody be quiet. Don't open the door.
But there's cars in the front. And
Yeah,
there's somebody
they know
there.
the car. They hear the TV
Who
on.
caused that?
Don't open the door. So the Most High turn these things up on you when we out of pocket. Happens all the time.
Happens all that, but that is the Most High stinging us. Okay? So the king's heart is in the hand of the Most High. So when we're sitting back here reading about Bogosis is wicked. And the Most High is going to sting Bogosis for him taking advantage of the Jew. But he's also stinging the Jew because they're rebellious with the Heavenly Father. It's a double whammy. Bogosis is not getting away from being negative because he won't get stung for going into the temple. He's still wrong. But Most High going to sting both. Because it was in Bogosis to want to do it anyway. The deceiver and the deceiver is his. The deceived and the deceiver are his. He's controlling both sides and will punish both sides.
Can't play the Most High.
You can't play the Most High. But we do it all the time. And we think we're making moves and we're going to lose on the back end anyway. Anyway, let all that go. And let's go back to the Josephus real quick. Book 11, chapter 7, paragraph 1 from the top.
Antiquity of the Jews, book 11, chapter 7, paragraph 1. When Elias, the high priest, was dead, his son Judas succeeded in the high priesthood. And when he was dead, his son John took that dignity, on whose account it was also that Bogosis, the general of another Artaxerxes' army, polluted the temple and imposed tributes on the Jews that out of the public stock.
So, listen, the public stock, what does that mean? The public stock of animals. The public stock of animals that were offered to who? To the temple. The people gave up animals to be sacrificed. And out of the public stock, that the people freely gave to the priest. This is what Bagoses did. Read on.
It says that out of the public stock before they offered the daily sacrifice.
So listen, the public stock came from the people. They gave their own animals up. Now Bagoses is like, okay, the daily sacrifice is twice a day. The morning sacrifice and the evening sacrifice. Before you kill one animal. Read on.
It says they should pay for every lamb 50 shekels.
They got to pay 50 shekels per lamb. So you got to pay 100 shekels a day just to do the daily sacrifice. And that was coming out of the priest's pocket. The priest had to give that money up. But the priests were also stealing from the Most High. Why would they have to pay Bagoses 50 shekels for public sheep?
Because the priests were reluctant to give to the Most High what he required.
That's the point. And what they say, I was reading, they say that 1 shekel equals 4 days pay in that time. 1 shekel equals 4 days pay. And the Levites had to give up 100 shekels a day. That's crazy.
Then you get to that point where you ask yourself, then is it even worth sacrificing to the Lord?
Exactly. Or you're supposed to say, damn, we sinned to the Lord.
Yeah.
We got to get back right. But that's what they were thinking.
Yeah,
it ain't worth doing it.
It's not worth doing it because serving the Lord is now too expensive.
Exactly.
There you go.
But look how hard he hit them because they were about their money. This proves that Malachi 1 was showing about greed. They were giving half-ass sacrifices for profit. And they were making profit off of the Most High.
Because the punishment was hitting them in the money. So obviously the sin was in the money.
Exactly.
Was in the keeping back of the money.
Exactly. So he says, all this money you stockpile is going to be gone real soon.
Oh.
All this little side hustling you do, I'm breaking it. But Bagoses taking all that money.
You know, Matthew Henry always talk about the punishment matching the sin.
Kinda.
The punishment matches the sin.
Always, bro. So they wanted to be selfish and be about the money. He going right at the heart of the money. 100 shekels a day when a regular person only gets a shekel for every, it says 4 days of wages. It's almost a week of work. You get 1 shekel. You might get 2 shekels a week. That's insane. And you got to drop 100 shekels a day?
Brother get mad though. But that's for
That
all
means
the,
that storehouse is getting broken down.
that's all for the all the taking and grinding and taking that you've been doing and maneuvering that you've been doing. I'm gonna get that get back. I'm gonna get for what you've been doing for the past 2 years. I'm gonna get that back.
I know. Listen, that's horrible. But that is justice.
Because 100 a day is a lot.
That's a lot. When nobody's making real shekels. Ain't like people making real money.
Yep.
An average person, I'm going to say it again, an average person gets a shekel for 4 days of work. And this Bagoses guy is
It's hard work too.
It's labor, bro.
It's not. We don't have no safety out.
Listen, it's baling hay out. It's hard work out.
Yeah.
But so he says we got to pay 100 a day. And listen, that's justice, though. That's justice. Hold this and go to Proverbs. Did I say Proverbs? Yeah, Proverbs 16 and 7.
Scary.
It is.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 7. When a man's ways please the Most High, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Listen, when you're doing right, your enemies are on your side. So listen, when we're getting mad at people coming at us out, listen, when you're doing right, the enemy's going to back off.
That's true.
So that's something we got to be conscious of too. So is Bagoses really the devil? But most sides using Bagoses because the Jew wasn't living right. The Levite wasn't living right. So he has to create and spark up these enemies to aggravate the negative man. Why is it important? We're breaking this down and explaining it because we have to understand how the Most High thinks. So instead of us getting mad, we want to sit back here and get mad at the culprit. We want to get mad at the person who's bringing the pain and bringing the bad message and imposing the fines and the bills and the taxes.
And making it hard living and outrageous.
Making it hard living. We're looking at these bread prices getting higher and higher. Food's getting more expensive. Also is increasing level of wickedness on earth.
Exactly.
How about that? You think wickedness is getting less, but food prices getting higher? Wickedness is getting higher, and them food prices is matching that wickedness. There's a reason the end's coming, and how you know the end's coming. The Most High talks about how that stench of wickedness gets all the way to him, and that's when he has to sit back and make a move. So these worsened conditions match with the wickedness that our people operate in, as well as the rest of the world. If we keep that mindset, it keeps us humble, and it keeps us working on what's inside of us, if we're honest. Anyway, let that verse go. Go to Ezra chapter 6, Ezra in the Bible, chapter 6, verse 1 through 10.
Ezra chapter 6 and verse 1, it says, Then Darius, the king, made a decree, and search was made in the house of the rolls.
Listen, Darius ended up being the king that financed and backed and allowed the Jews to finish the temple. Okay? So Cyrus initiated it, Darius finished it. Read on.
It says, where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. And there was found at Achametha in the palace that is in the province of the Medes a roll, and therein was a record thus written. In the first year of Cyrus the king, the same Cyrus the king made a decree concerning the house of the Most High at Jerusalem. Let the house be builded, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundations thereof be strongly laid. The height thereof 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 80 cubits, with 3 rows of great stones, and a row of new timber, and let the expenses be given out of the king's house.
Listen, when we're living right, the people with the power give us breaks. When we're living right, we're in the right spirit, the king will sit back here and pay for the expenses to build the temple. King Artaxerxes sat back here and paid for the construction, the rebuilding of the walls. When we're living right, the people with authority give us breaks.
And the time the Romans, Agrippa gave us a hookup too.
Well, it was Augustus.
Well,
Caesar Augustus is the one that sat back and really hooked us up.
Well, I'm just saying, I may have seen his name wrong, but one of the princes reminded everybody, "Hey, Caesar Augustus gave us this, gave these people this deal."
Yeah.
He reminded them, "Hey, listen, we might well this is what Caesar did this.
Yes, it was
Let's
Augustus.
keep enforcing it."
Yep, and this is the situation. You read all throughout history.
Yeah.
When we're in order with the Most High, the kings or the powers that be work with us. When we're not in order with the Most High, the kings or the powers that be make life miserable for us. There is a pattern, there is a message and a lesson there. I don't think we hold on to that enough. Whether it's sisters at the job with their bosses, I don't think they're conscious enough or they're aware of enough that how their boss treats them directly is in correlation to how they serve their husbands and how they stay in order with the Most High.
And the children.
And
children say, the teacher is picking on me.
Yes.
Oh, I used to say all the time. I was acting a fool. I was tripping out in class. I just didn't like being checked. I was making decisions and doing things I shouldn't have been doing. And all of a sudden, now I got to that. They're going to war with me. I'm like, you're not checking them. What about what they're doing? But listen, they were doing something I was doing, but I was the one that was.
But you're always doing
I
it.
was.
There's a difference between doing it once or twice. The teacher's like, who is the troublemaker? Who's the one that's instigating everybody to do this? Who's the person doing it all the time?
But to constantly say the teachers don't like me, this and that, we grow up and say the boss don't like me. It's the same thing.
And the first thing you do wrong as a parent is always sit back here and act like it's never them. Even at school, even with teachers. Listen, if the teacher is giving you problems, what is the Spirit saying about you? What do you have to change in you in order for this person to back off of you?
You know, they're racist.
Everybody wants to pull that card. Or that card, like what's that dude's name? What they call it this? Like Sir Shaka pulled the card out.
Charge of the game.
Yeah. Listen, I want to pull the race card always or not to look at you.
Yeah.
Or it's always the coach's fault.
Yeah. That's the coach. That's a big one too.
The coach got a problem with me. The teacher got a problem with me. They always hating on me. They lying on me.
Yeah.
They always got a problem with me. No, it's you. And can you work on what's inside of you and show your humility towards the Father so He can remove you out of the situation?
That's the police.
Bro,
That's the police.
if we don't understand that, life gets that much harder. So right here in Ezra, when we were operating right, the king sat back here and paid for everything. Let's continue.
Verse 5. And also let the golden and silver vessels of the house of the Most High, which Nebuchadnezzar took forth out of the temple, which is at Jerusalem, and brought unto Babylon, be restored, and brought again unto the temple, which is at Jerusalem, everyone to his place, and placed them in the house of the Most High.
So everything was getting restored that was taken from us. And it initiated with King Cyrus many years before this, and it was finished off by Darius. What am I trying to explain though? We're going to finish to verse 10, but when we're doing right, the Most High allows the powers that be to work with us. When we're rebellious, life gets harder. Bills get more expensive. Finances get more difficult. Life gets harder. Just keep that in mind in all of your life and see where it fits into your life. You got something? Okay, read on.
Yeah.
Verse 6. Now therefore, Tapnah, governor, beyond the river, Shethar-Boznai, and your companions, the Apharsachites, which are beyond the river, be ye far from thence. Let the work of this house of the Most High alone, let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews build this house of the Most High in his place. Moreover, I make a decree what ye shall do to the elders of these Jews for the building of this house of the Most High, that of the king's goods, even of the tribute beyond the river, forthwith expenses be given unto these men, that they be not hindered, and that which they have need of, both young bullocks.
So he's saying, listen, even that tribute, even all the monies and the resources on the other side of the river needs to, for a certain period of time, be funneled to the temple so that the temple can be fixed. These type of things only happen when you're obedient to the Most High. And that you show the Most High without a shadow of a doubt that He comes first. And it's not about you. What we don't want to understand is whether it's bosses, coaches, teachers, the Most High is using them to teach you. And to show you about your disrespect, your pride, your selfishness. And to show you where you don't listen and where you're not obedient. That's why you got to sit back here and use these arenas and not be so quick to coddle and placate the child. Because if you do that, they lose out on the lesson that they need to learn. They need to learn how to submit and follow. Because it's not like most of the time the child has an issue with a teacher because they're making them do wicked things. The issue is that they say, oh, this teacher doesn't like me. This coach doesn't like me. Well, what is it about my personality that's not likable?
That's a good question. About that. Nobody likes that question.
Nobody likes that question. Is there not something about my attitude that people don't like? And let's talk about that. Let's talk about my piss poor attitude, my inconsistent effort, my crappy affect in my face.
The fact that I show up late all the time.
And I'm late, and I just give you a RBF. People that face, that RBF face. I'm never happy. I'm just stoic. Who wants to be around somebody who never smiles? Who wants to be around a person like this? Like this. What? I'm doing my job.
What?
What kind of crap is that?
What?
I did my job, got completed.
What?
Like, damn. I don't really want a person around me that's never smiling, is just not warm in how they deal. Who wants to be around that all damn day long?
Nobody.
What, the boss is picking on me? Again? Well, maybe maybe the boss is like, you got to bring that crappy attitude to the job again. Is that? We don't see it that way.
They're trying to have a good day.
But what we do is, I'm just going to find another job. Because this boss don't get me. This boss is tripping. You know the funny thing? You leave this boss, you go to another situation, and they see something else in you. They might not see what this person saw, but they'll see something else in you.
Same thing.
And they'll start checking you on it. That's the point. You never fix what's really inside of you. People don't get it, man. What you gonna say? You also say something? So, it's something for us to think about. But let's finish off in this verse in Ezra.
Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. And that which they have need of, both young bullocks and rams and lambs, for the burnt offerings of the power of heaven, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the appointment of the priests which are at Jerusalem. Let it be given them day by day without fail.
He said, on top of making sure the money is put in to build up the temple, give them what they need to eat and operate and function, and give them their burnt offerings, which is all the animals for free. Give them wheat, wine, and salt and oil to take care of the priest. This was all on the house. Now you got Bogosis sitting back here saying, no, dog. Every offered animal that was given to the priest, you got to pay 50 shekels per animal. You see how things just swapped and changed? But these gentlemen, these brothers in Ezra, they gave their whole life to sitting back here and reestablish themselves in the Most High. They left their homes. Think about this. They left their homes in Babylon, made the trip back up to Jerusalem, endured jacked up conditions, no walls, no temple. They gave it all up. So because they gave it all up, the powers that be took care of them. Now you got this next generation of priests, had everything done, temple completed, walls done. Now they want to skip and give it to the Most High. So now he got a sting. This is a lesson that you can use in your life. It's a perfect reflection of you. Okay, let that go. Would you read verse 10?
No, I ain't
read verse 10.
Ezra chapter 6 and verse 10. That they may offer sacrifices of sweet savors unto the power of heaven, and pray for the life of the king.
Exactly. You know, we weren't stupid. If this king was taking care of us, I don't give a shit if it was a nation. I ain't going to pray for this person to look after him after he's looking after us. Anyway, let's go to Haggai, chapter 1, verse 4 through 11. Shalom, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to stay in this book today and not think about this high holiday this suffering we're going through. Listen, the key is to study, reflect, pray, study, reflect, pray, and you look up and the sun be down, and everything will be okay, Haggai chapter 1, verse 4.
Haggai chapter 1 and verse 4. Is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lay waste?
It still goes back to the same concept. Why are you sitting back here and building up your house, and the Most High's house is laid waste? Why does the Most High always last in our priorities and in our hearts? Read on.
Now therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
Mm-hmm.
Ye have so much.
Now listen, you bring a lot in. You're hustling. You're making moves. You're motivated for you. You're motivated for you to come up. Read on.
And bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
And this is what's being explained now in the Josephus. All the wages you've earned, all the hustling you've done, all the maneuvers you've made, and you know what it's like, you put money into a bag of holes because the money never goes where it was intended to go. It was intended to be for you. It was intended to be your nest egg. It was intended to be your savings. And you look up and you have nothing to show for all your maneuvering and your hustling and your moves. Okay? But there's a reason. Read on.
It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Go up to the mountain and bring wood and build the house, and I will take pleasure in it, and I will be glorified, saith the Lord.
This book of Haggai was actually, if I'm not mistaken, yes it was. It was before the temple was complete or even started in the time of Ezra. Okay? Because this was talking about a time and period before Darius came into power, that the surrounding governors had kind of put pressure on the Jews not to construct the temple. Okay? And they had got complacent, and they had got caught up in living their life and not fighting to make sure the temple of the Most High was set up. So what the Most High did is he made everything around them not work and not prosper, because the priority wasn't making the word prosper. Okay? Read on.
Verse 9. Ye looked for much, and lo, it came to little. And when ye brought it home, I did blow upon it.
And this is the Most High is blowing on the effort and the energy and the extra that we've attained in this time of Bogosis. All the extra hustling, all the extra building and maneuvering, he's blowing on it. What does that mean? It's all come to naught. When you've been hustling and scheming and making moves to produce and get paid, and you look up and they got to drop 100 shekels a day, all that savings is getting wiped out like this. Okay? Read on.
You look for much, and lo, it came to little. And when you brought it home, I did blow upon it. Why? Saith the Lord of hosts. Because of mine house that is waste, and ye run every man unto his own house.
He keeps telling us, when we choose us, the Most High he creates the condition to where we can't even make home comfortable. Home isn't even comfortable at a certain time, because he wants to focus and the priority to be into serving the Heavenly Father. Let's keep going.
Therefore, the heaven over you is stayed from dew, and the earth is stayed from her fruit.
He says the earth is stayed from dew. You're not going to produce. You work hard to produce, and even if you produce, prices are going to be so high you don't really see the value of your work. You're not getting anything out of your work. And that's a curse. Read on.
Verse 11. And I called for a drought upon the land, and upon the mountains, and upon the corn, and upon the new wine, and upon the oil, and upon that which the ground bringeth forth, and upon men, and upon cattle, and upon all the labor of the hands.
So either he puts a drought in your life, or he puts a boss or a person over you that makes life difficult. This is how the Most High remedies rebellion and Israel that doesn't have the right priorities in their mind. Okay? Let all that go. Let all of it go. And let's go real quick to Malachi. Malachi chapter 2, verse 1 through 9.
Malachi chapter 2, verse 1. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name.
Now, whether it's in chapter 1, the focus and the issue was Israel were giving the Most High bad offerings and blemish offerings. Now in chapter 2, he's like, listen, if you don't figure it out, and if you don't take the time to give the Most High His glory, okay, read on.
It says, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I had cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart.
He's going to curse your blessings. First of all, what is the blessings? Does anybody listen? The blessings was the priesthood. The blessings was the fact that we had our own sovereignty. Yep. We had our own, at least our own independence to a certain degree. We were vassals, but we at least had our own country again. He's almost start cursing your blessings again if you don't learn to put me first. Read on.
Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your faces.
Bro, he said he's going to corrupt our seed out. And what we're going to read, he's still talking to Levi. He's still talking to Levi and Malachi. He's, I'm going to sit back here and corrupt your seed. And we're going to sit back here and see how the seed begins to get corrupted. Okay, in a little bit. But he's going to corrupt the seed. He's going to corrupt the blessings that he gave us. Read on.
And spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your sons.
Well, when he says spread dung upon your faces, what does that mean? You ever see those old like the Three Stooges? Yeah. If you want to put somebody to shame, you throw the pie in the guy's face out. When you throw the pie in the face, that's shame. Throwing some slinging poo in your face.
That's a monkey zoo type stuff.
That's even worse, huh? You don't want no poo hitting your mouth, huh?
Yeah, with your mouth open.
You're like, Listen, all that spitting ain't taking all that poop juice out of your mouth, huh?
You're gonna taste it for days.
It's there. So he says, I'm going to embarrass and shame you if you don't give me what I'm looking for. He's going to make what has made you a blessing now turn into a shame. Okay? Well, let me find this verse real quick. Where's mine? Well, there it is. See if I want to pull it real quick. Give me a second. It's Jeremiah 6 and 19. What was that? Kinda. Man, let's do this. I like this. Give me Jeremiah 6 and 19.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 19.
This is a hell of a verse. Sheesh.
It says, Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people.
Now let me get the verse where it is on the paper. If I don't have it yellow, I need to yellow this damn verse because it goes right into what all of us have been saying. It's 6 and 19, right?
Sir.
Yeah, it's written down. Yeah, read that.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 19. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts.
Even the fruit of their thoughts. First of all, he's like, I'm going at the thoughts that you choose over me. The things that you choose over the Most High, the thoughts, the people, the situations, the things you value over me. He says, I'm going to sit back here and I'm going to bring evil on the things you value more than me. That's really what's happening. Whether it's financially. Chapter 1 was more about the financial issues that he's going to be attacking. Chapter 2 in Malachi is, I'm going at your heart. The things you value over me, I'm going to attack those things. Yeah. No, that woman you value over me, them kids you value over me, this life you value over me.
Everything's more important than your liberty. You
That's
want liberty? Point. Cool. I'll touch your liberty.
I'm going to touch your liberty. I'm going to touch your health.
No.
You want to do what you want? I'm going to touch your health. How you going to have fun when your body's all broken down.
Exactly.
Is that the Most High be getting us out? Read verse 19 again.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 19. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it.
He's like, I'm going to go with your thoughts, because your thoughts ain't with me. So wherever your thoughts are is where I'm going to get you. Wherever you value, exactly. Wherever your heart is, that's what you're going to be. So let's go back to Malachi 1 and 3 again.
2 and 3.
2 and 3, Salaki.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 3. Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feast.
He says, all your little fashion shows that we call high holidays.
Yeah.
He says, I'm gonna sit back here. I don't value that at all, because all y'all do is cosplay Israelite, but you really don't have me in your heart. I'm not the number one priority in your heart. You just come here and you show up and you smile and you dap, but you're not really serious about the work. Read on.
And one shall take you away with it, and ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave to him for the fear wherewith he feared me, and was afraid before my name.
Listen, your peace that you live in is based off your previous respect and reverence to the Father. People forget that. They forget who buys their bread out. They bite the hand that feeds them.
God, all the time.
This peace of mind you got right now can easily be taken away. Easily.
We don't want to accept that at all. But what is he saying? He says, my covenant was with him of life and peace. This entire Malachi is about him addressing Levi. He said, I gave you guys a covenant with peace. I promised to take care of you. You just have to sit back here and serve me, and I will always look after you. But somewhere in the mix, that covenant wasn't enough. Somewhere in the mix, we want more than just the Most High being at peace with us. And this is what's happening. So he says, because you want more than peace, I got to corrupt everything you touch. I got to corrupt the priesthood. Well, you've corrupted the priesthood, and I'm just going to punish you for your corruption. Okay? Read on.
Verse 6. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips.
You gotta look at the difference now. Look at how Levi lives then. Look how Levi lives now.
Okay.
It's not hard to see. Levi lived at a high status in ancient times.
Yes.
Look how Levi lives now.
And they were respected because of how pious they were to the Heavenly Father.
Exactly. That was their power.
They were respected, and that was their power, and it was an honor to sit back here and be the priest of the Heavenly Father. Hold this. Give me Numbers 18 and 7 real quick. You can keep talking though, yeah.
And now you look on a nationalistic level, the embarrassment that Levi has experienced.
Yep. Yep. Yes.
Numbers chapter 18 and verse 7. Therefore, thou and thy sons with thee shall keep your priest's office for everything of the altar and within the veil, and ye shall serve. I have given your priest's office unto you as a service of gifts.
He says the priesthood service was a gift. To have the opportunity every day not to focus on nothing but pleasing me. He said that was a gift. Do we look at serving the Most High as a gift? How about that? I talk to Israel all the time and say, man, I wish I could just sit back here and the working with people in the world sucks. World sucks. My boss sucks. I hate being around this environment. But then the answer, well, then work with the brothers. He says that's a gift. Working with the body of Christ is a gift.
Right.
Working for Him, with the body of Christ, is a gift. We just don't look at it that way. We look at working with the body of Christ as a burden. Let's continue.
Right. It says, And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death.
He said the intention was never to have the stranger be around us. We were supposed to work with each other with the intention of just building up our nation and giving the Most High His glory. Read on.
And the Lord spake unto Aaron, Behold, I also have given thee the charge of mine heave offerings of all the hallowed things of the children of Israel. Unto thee have I given them by reason of the anointing, and to thy sons by an ordinance forever.
Listen, the Most High set up these responsibilities. He set the priesthood up. He eventually set up the seat of David to be the individuals that represent the Most High. And each time, the families just didn't take the responsibility seriously. They didn't value the office like the Most High wanted them to value the office.
That's now.
Yep. Yeah, Garrett, this. Read that scripture again.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers chapter 18 and verse 8. And the Most High spake unto Aaron, Behold, I also have given thee the charge of mine heave offerings.
Is I gave you power over my heave offerings to receive the things that come to me. The only thing that the Most High asks, go to Leviticus chapter 22, start at verse 17.
22 and
17.
17.
Mm-hmm.
Leviticus chapter 22 and verse 17. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons and to all the children of Israel.
He said, this is to Aaron and his sons, the Levites. Go ahead.
And say unto them, Whatsoever he be of the house of Israel,
Read on.
or of the strangers in Israel,
Read.
that will offer his oblation for all his vows.
So all the vows, all the oblations were funneled to the priest. Everything that goes to the Father was funneled into the priest. You couldn't just give anything to the Most High if you weren't a priest. You just couldn't offer anything and do the sacrifice and do the service of the offering if you weren't a priest. Everything was funneled to the priest. All the offerings of the whole house of Israel. Read on.
It says that will offer his oblation for all his vows and for all his free will offerings.
It said all your free will offerings. Go ahead. Things that came from your heart, that was more than just tithes. Things that you just gave out of the sincere fact of giving, that came from your heart. Read.
Which they will offer unto the Lord for a burnt offering.
Go ahead.
Ye shall offer at your own will.
Read.
A male without blemish.
And what are we talking about in Malachi chapter 2? The Most High gave the priest the service to do it, the power to conduct the service. The only thing the Most High was asking was, make sure that y'all when y'all do this service, that the people are giving me the best. I don't want no whack animals on the service. I don't want no blemished, diseased, lame, sickly animals, three-legged animals that should have been a four-legged animal. I don't want these I don't want these sacrificed. I don't want one-eyed goats sacrifice. Yes, sir.
That was a commandment.
Yeah, that's a commandment.
Yeah.
But that's part of how the sacrifice should be. It's not supposed to have any blemishes.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It says, Ye shall offer at your own will a male.
It said you're supposed to be giving a male the strength of the flock. Read on.
Without blemish.
The most breedable, the best pedigree, without blemish. Read on.
Of the beeves, of the sheep, or of the goats. But whatsoever have a blemish, that shall ye not offer, for it shall not be acceptable for you.
And it said if something wrong, if it got a missing horn, if the horn is missing, if the feet are crooked out, they're crooked feet, the animal's half paralyzed. If there's anything wrong with the animal, the Most High said, just make sure that the whack animals are not sacrificed. Give me the best. Read on.
And whosoever offereth a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord to accomplish his vow, or a freewill offering in beeves or sheep
The beeves is the cows, right?
It shall be perfect.
It shall be what?
It shall be perfect.
What was Levi's job? Their job was to ensure that the sacrifices were perfect. They had to check the animals. Okay, is this a good will the Most High like this or not? Nah, this don't qualify. This don't cut it. This animal's got scabies.
Mm-hmm.
This animal got scabs.
Wow.
This animal got
passing on the rock.
Yeah, this animal got sores.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This animal got pus leaking out of his body. It's got inflamed tumors on the skin, under the skin. This animal got worms. We're not giving this to the Most High.
It's a sick animal.
This is a sick animal. That's all the job is. You just got to make sure that the sacrifice is perfect.
Yep.
That the Most High get the best.
That's it.
That's a job. That's the only thing that Most High required from the Levites. Just make sure it's right. But Levi trying to insert themselves into the Most High's offering.
Yep.
We're gonna keep these good ones. Let's go ahead and sacrifice these bad ones. We're gonna save these good ones and breed them. We can sell these, and let's go ahead. That's somebody inserting. That's somebody inserting. That's like I hate to say it, but brother used to add additional tax that came out of nowhere.
Yep.
We selling oils out.
Yes, they did.
Regular tax.
I think they still do. I don't know. I don't know.
Regular tax back in the day was like 8.15% on the sales tax. Brothers tax be like 9.9, 10% of the sales tax side on the bottle of oil.
That's true.
Like, damn, man. Even the customer be like, man, I thought tax was 8.15. Like, hold on, nah, man. It's a bottle tax, a bottle fee.
Brothers just sit back and make crazy taxes up.
Just make taxes up to try to insert myself to where I can get a little leverage. I'm trying to leverage myself into the game or the offering.
Get mine out the deal.
I'm trying to get mine off. I'm trying to skim off the top. I'm trying to get a little bit off the top because I'm broke and I want to come home with something too. It's not enough.
Serving the Most High is not enough.
It's not enough that I got to sell. The business wins, the camp wins. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
And some
And Papa John's, we get a free pizza for lunch. What people would do is every pizza, they cut a little slice in the middle of the pizza and then push them together. So they got a little slice per pizza. So
nice.
Hold on.
I gotta understand the hustle a little better.
We got the circle pizza, right? If you cut a half an inch up the middle of the slice, up the middle of the pizza, and you push them together, it looks like a whole pizza still. You cut it regularly, but you got a slice per pizza. It adds up to like 2-3 pizzas at the end of the day. You're eating slices all day long.
Oh, so you're saying that they would cut the customer?
Yeah, they cut the customer's pizza.
Oh, they cut the customer. Oh, so they're cutting a sliver out of the customer's pizza and then put it and then
the sliver tax. Sliver tax.
I ain't going there.
It's a bite per
That's
pizza.
all Pizza Hustle. That's just a Pizza Hustle in general.
A bite per pizza.
Well, you add it up.
It adds up quick. The cheese sticks too. Oh my god, they get them cheese sticks.
Hey, listen, I went to Papa John's. Maria went to Papa John's. They used her points.
Yeah, no, that's real.
The employee stole her points.
Yeah, because
it adds up.
Yeah, it adds up.
It adds
what
up.
they'll do is they'll put their name or their number under your order.
Yeah, they put their name under your number. They know you got points.
Yeah.
They just put their name on your number.
That's amazing.
And they steal your free pizza
All the
points.
time. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was there.
everybody trying to get something off the top.
All his hands to pull out
I got my own bag of fries that I took from the restaurant
Yes.
in my personal freezer.
Exactly.
I got company chicken and meat.
Yeah.
I got company meat in my freezer.
Yep.
All you do is just put lesser numbers every day that adds up to a whole bag. So you never tell the actual numbers every day. So when they're trying to figure out doing the inventory, they're like, man, we're missing like half a pound of cheese throughout the whole week. Where'd it go? You had the whole pound the whole time, but you've been putting less numbers the entire week. So they think we're putting cheese in. Really, you just finesse the cheese bag and took it out.
You finesse the
And
cheese bag.
you sprinkling cheese on your own little piece of the house.
Yeah, that mozzarella got all the
We got cheese
mozzarella.
here.
This is the cheesiest pizza around.
Yeah.
At my house, at Casa de Cheese.
Yeah, never had cheese sticks like my cheese sticks. My cheese sticks got extra cheese on. But that's our people. But you know what? We mad. You can give me a 2 Ezra chapter 4 verse 20. We be mad at Esau because we be like, man, he be overpricing. Esau's the devil. We mad at him when he raised prices.
But we just surviving.
Yeah,
we gotta survive. We hustling
we're hustling, but we know how to call out Esau when he do these things
all day long.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at a gallon of gas is $4 or $5, or milk, eggs are $12 for a dozen of eggs. We be mad as hell when Esau do it. We'll read this.
What verse is it?
2 Ezra chapter 4 verse 20.
2 Ezra chapter 4 verse 20. Then answered he me and said, Thou hast given a right judgment.
So yeah, is Esau crooked?
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Con.
Does Esau inflate prices on things?
Yes.
And adds his own special tax?
Yes, they do. Hidden tax.
Hidden tax. Carbon tax.
Precious tax.
Carbon tax is air. He charge you for air.
Yeah.
So is Esau wicked?
Come.
Yeah, but we're able to call out Esau and all the things he do that be wrong. Man, he cutting down on food stamps. He cutting down on Section 8 housing. He making me sign additional paperwork. He doing all so on and so forth. Or it's a glass ceiling. You can only go so high in the company, and they get rid of you.
Yep.
They stifle you when you try to get a promotion. We're able to call out all these things when it comes to somebody else. Read.
Oh, yeah. Finish this over. After this verse, we're to the next man.
2 Ezra chapter 4 verse 20. Then answered he me and said, Thou hast given a right judgment.
Yeah, when it comes to Esau, Esau be wrong. He be inflating things and prices, price gouging.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
But why judgest thou not thyself also?
He said, but the Bible says, how come you don't look at yourself either? Also, because we price gouge the Most High
All the time.
We just skimming off the top on the Lord. We mad when other people do it, and we can call it out when they do it. He said, "Well, how come we don't make the right judgment when it comes to us? When it comes to how we skim off the top for the Lord?"
That's real bad judgment. That's real bad judgment.
Yeah, but we can damn sure see when Esau tripping with these prices.
Yeah.
Man, y'all tripping with these prices.
Yep.
It is a trip. I try to get some meat cut at the deli. Man, they want
Deli hustles, man.
Yeah, they
Deli
want
hustles,
the slices are so thin, thin ass slices of meat, and then it's like $12 a pound.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you can't even get a sandwich out of there at the deli. No, and the $12. But you're like, damn, when did meat get this high? But we can see it when it's Esau. We can see it when it's other people. But we never are able to see when it's us. When the Most High got a requirement, and we tell the Most High, we pick and choose how much we can give the Lord and how much we take back. But we don't see it when it comes to us. And that's where it be wrong. That's where the judgment is wrong. That's all I wanted to bring out on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thawam,
Yes, sir.
let's get you up next, sir. Just a little minute.
Thawam Racha, Shal Shabbatah, Bana Shar, Bayan Sha'ala.
Thawam Rakah, Shal Shabbatah, Badashar, Bayan Shala, Emergent. Rup, Yahweh Bashem Shabbatah.
Yahweh Shabbatah.
Okay, so you finished 2 Ezra 4, right? Kind of 20. Did you get something next?
Not yet.
Okay.
Unless because we did go to Haggai. You went to Haggai, right?
I went to that guy 1 and 4 through 11.
It's something I wanted to get after that, but I don't know if we passed that point already.
Oh, we no, I don't think so. The last verse I left off, and this was trying to make sure I'm resetting myself also. We're in Malachi chapter 2, verse I think it's verse 6 that we're at in Malachi.
Yeah, I just want to get one more than Jeremiah 22 and 17.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hold on, let me see if this is right.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, read that.
Jeremiah chapter 22 and verse 17. But thine eyes and thy heart are not, but for thy covetousness.
He said, read again.
Jeremiah chapter 22 and verse 17. But thine eyes.
He said the problem with the priest doing the service, when you're doing a job for the Lord, you gotta be sincere that this job is strictly for the Most High. The problem is that the Most High has with us is that we do a job for the Lord. He said, but our eyes and our mind is not on the Lord while we do the job.
Mm-hmm.
He says when we do a job for the Lord, he says thine eyes and thine heart, which is your mind, is where?
Are not, but for thy covetousness.
He says your eyes, as you're doing the job, you're doing the job trying to see what you can get out of it. That's how we work for the Lord. That's the mentality we got for doing the Lord's work. What can I get out of this job? And what can I receive to myself? He said, for thine eyes and thine heart are for what?
Are not, but for thy covetousness.
Go ahead.
And for to shed innocent blood.
And we're always trying to get over on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We're always trying to hit a lick, pitching and bargaining, trying to hit a lick, trying to come up, trying to get over on somebody, trying to get a leg up, trying to get an advantage. He said, man, that's where our minds and that's where our hearts be. We're always trying to get over on somebody. And what's crazy is that we try to get over on the Most High. Ultimately, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
When we have that mentality. You let that go.
You got anything else?
Yeah, I got to find it. It was another verse that talks about, let's go with that Haggai.
What does it say?
I got it right here. Let me get it.
Okay.
Let me put it up right quick.
Can I go up to verse 16 of Jeremiah real quick?
It's Isaiah 28.
Okay, 28.
Yeah, Isaiah 28 and 20. So start at verse 19 and 20. Isaiah 28, 19 and 20.
Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 19. From the time that it goeth forth, it shall take you. For morning by morning shall it pass over, by day and by night, and it shall be a vexation only to understand the report.
It said the Most High will make your life harder by the day and harder by the night.
Wow.
When we don't want to serve the Most High correctly, the Most High has to trouble our lifestyles. He has to hit the lifestyle directly.
Yep.
It hits you in your comfort. Hit you where you may not consider. Read on.
And it shall be a vexation only to understand the report.
And you get bad news on top of bad news. You start thinking it's bad luck. You start thinking like, man, maybe somebody put roots on me.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't got nothing good is coming my way. I have no advantages. I have no legs up in my situation. Read on.
For the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it.
So you can't even get comfortable with it.
That's what the Most High said.
You like had your feet over the bed. You can't get comfortable with your feet falling down the bed.
The Most High will make your life like you sleeping in a baby bed, like in a crib. Like you only got so many.
It's a toddler bed.
Yeah, it's a toddler bed. You'll say you overstretch the bed. You're longer than the bed itself.
Like those kid car beds.
Yeah.
You sitting back here, your feet's over. Like this is not comfortable at all.
Yeah.
The mattress is all crappy and old and plasticky.
They only got 3 slacks on the whole mattress.
Yeah,
it's not meant for 180 pounds.
It's not meant for.
It's only meant for like 60 pounds, 40 pounds. But the Most High will put you on a bed that you can't stretch out on. Why is that analogy being used?
He's
saying
not gonna get you comfortable.
he's not going to let you be comfortable in life when you cheat and skim off the top for what you're capable of doing, but you're choosing to hold back your potential. You're choosing to hold back what you're able to do for the Lord. You can do more for the Most High. So the Most High said, okay, no problem. Since you know you can do more and you're not, guess what? I'm going to make your life feel like, man, ain't nothing good coming my way. I can't catch a break. I can't even get comfortable in my bed. That damn bed's too short. Read on.
And the covering narrower than that he can wrap himself in it.
You know what people love? People love having long, large blankets and blankets that actually cover up the whole bed. People like to have the king size quilt on a queen size bed, because you can roll over in the queen and you still got covers on you. But the Most High said, I'm gonna make your covers to where, you know how you got a short blanket, you pull the blanket up to your you try to protect your up to your neck, and then your feet are sticking out.
You better have socks on.
And then you try
better
to
have some socks. You better put the socks on.
Then you try to kick the blanket down with your feet so you can cover your toes, and then your shoulders are cold and your arms are cold.
Only solution is socks. You gotta put the socks on, man, to get through it.
And then, or you try to ball up like a baby.
Yeah.
Under a midget blanket. So the Most High is saying he'll make your life like that. We can understand that because we know what it's like when we're trying to get comfortable and get into a comfortable position, but we can't. The Most High said, I'll make your life to where you can't get comfortable, because it's what you're holding back from me. Everybody should know what they're capable of and what they can and cannot do for the Lord. But the Most High just want us to be sincere. And if we're not sincere, then that's when this hardship starts to come along, where there's no comfort, man. On a daily, he said he'll make it this way on a daily basis. Daily basis. No different than Haggai when he's saying he's going to put your money in a pocket with holes.
Yep.
And blow on it.
Yep.
As soon as it comes in, it's going right out. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that's it, that one.
Okay, let's go to Malachi 2 and 7 then. 6. Let's do a 6 and then work our way down.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 6. Malachi chapter 2 and verse 6. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips.
At one time, that's what the priesthood stood for. Read on.
He walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity.
So we said at one time the Levite priesthood represented strength, unity, being a good example, and inspiring people to be better than what they were.
It's an honorable position.
Khan. Read on.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
This is the priests are supposed to be the ones that speak knowledge, and they're the messengers of the Lord. The word of the Most High has to come from the priest or the leadership. Read on.
But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law.
So not only were the priests giving bad sacrifices, their example was being seen in front of all the people. The people started seeing the hypocrisy. It's one of the reasons why Israel felt confident years prior to go to those high places and be their own priest, because they would see the inconsistencies in the priesthood and lose confidence and faith in leadership. This is a real thing. This has been happening from the beginning.
I'll get a verse on
strong priests, strong leadership, weak leadership, and the people sit back here and see the weak leadership and choose to be independent. What you got, man?
2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 13 and 14.
You gotta stretch it out. 12, verse what?
2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 13.
Okay. And what?
14.
Okay.
2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 13. And David said unto Nathan.
He said, David said what?
And David said unto Nathan.
Go ahead.
I have sinned against the Lord.
He said, yeah, when David was a king. And when David as a king realized the magnitude that the Most High, read verse 12.
2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 12. For thou didst it secretly.
He said, yeah, what did David do with Bathsheba? It was
secret.
It was adultery, but it was done in what?
Secretly.
It was done in secret. It was a little secret, little romance affair that David put together. He orchestrated that whole thing. And he pursued that whole thing. Read on.
But I will do this thing before all Israel.
He said, but you tried to do something behind my back. Nathan was a prophet. You tried to hold this thing and have this secret love affair with this married woman, and you tried to keep it under wraps and keep it behind closed doors. He said, but I'm going to make it known in front of everybody how I feel about that.
Because it was the sin, then it was the cover-up. Everything was hidden.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I can bring all this dirty laundry. The whole world's going to know that you sinned and that you're getting punished. Kind of.
Yep. Because it's and it's still he's not thinking about his position though as a king. Read on.
But I will do this thing before all Israel and before the sun. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan said unto David, the Lord also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die.
Now the Most High told Nathan to tell David, I've been watching you. You've been corrupt. And you've been doing sneaky, devilish things. He said, but I'm going to let you live. You're not going to die because what is the law concerning adultery?
It's death.
Death. Both the man and the woman supposed to be put to death. So he said, Bathsheba was supposed to die if she didn't cry out. And David was to die because he orchestrated it. He said, you're not going to die. I forgive you. Read on.
And Nathan said unto David, the Lord also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die.
I'll let you slide on that. Read on.
Howbeit,
He said, but for this other reason. Read on.
because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme.
You disrespect the position of a king.
Mm-hmm.
And I set you up as a king. So you didn't value the position that the Most High put. David didn't value the position enough. He opened the door to make the Most High look bad in front of all these other nations.
Uh-huh. And that's what the Most High hates.
That's Most High disgusted with that.
Because the Most High was like, I made you guys to be the example for the whole world to follow me in the first place.
Yep.
He keeps saying that theme over and over and over again. Look, you're right.
That's what the Most High was really angry. The Most High let him slide for the adultery, even though he should have died. He said, but because you made me look bad in front of these other nations, now they're going to despise me. You were a bad example in your position. Read on.
The child also that is born unto thee shall surely die.
Now, did the child die because of the adultery? The child died because of what? You make the Most High look bad through your actions.
Yep.
You set up a bad example in front of the eyes of the Most High. That's why that baby that came from that adultery died. Not from the adultery itself. It's because as in a leadership position, like we're reading about in Malachi, man, they make the Most High look bad in front of the people, the behavior that they were doing. And when you make the Most High look bad, that's when the Most High got to make your life suffer. You're not going to make the Most High look bad, and then you get rewarded on the back end, or expect for things to go your way. You're not going to make the Most High look bad. If anybody's going to be the fool, it's going to be you.
Yep.
If anybody's going to lose, it's going to be you. Nobody's going to make the Most High look bad and get away with it. That's why that baby died. The baby could have been healthy, man. That baby probably could have lived, but the Most High made sure that baby wasn't going nowhere. That baby lasted, 8 days?
Yeah.
He fasted for 8 days for the life of the child?
Listen, he's lucky David and Bathsheba weren't killed either.
Yeah.
That's by the law, that's what it should happen. Okay?
Well, so when we read in Malachi chapter 2, these priests are making the Most High look bad when he gave them a special office. He gave them a special position that was really a gift, like you brought out a minute ago. It's really a gift to do the work of the Lord. It's not a burden at all.
To be a priest are used.
Yeah. But a lot of times we look at it as a burden. We sit back here and we say serving the Most High is a weariness. It's too much. It's exhausting. there's no fun out of this.
But those kind of people complain about everything.
I know. I know.
They complain about everything. The food don't taste good. The car I got's too old.
Too hot.
So I'm tired. I'm tired of where I live at. I can live somewhere else. And you get to live. You get to move, and then you complain about your neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but you're gonna complain because you're gonna complain.
God. So let's go and read verse 8 and 9 in Malachi 2.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 8. But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi.
And what does it mean to cause people to stumble at the law?
Listen, when they see, first of all, hold this and go to Leviticus 19 and 14. But to cause many to stumble at the law, this means I see your weak example. So that it gives me a justification to be weak. What we don't understand about leadership is that, listen, we know this thing. It's hard to be strong. It's hard to stay strong. It's hard to operate with a positive mindset. It's hard to consistently produce and be the best you can be. So when the person that's in a leadership position shows fallibility, inconsistency, weakness, then in the back of your mind, you're telling yourself, why should I have to be strong if this person isn't strong? Why should I have to sacrifice if this person isn't sacrificing? That is the mindset of a person who deals with weakness. Most High calls Israel the lost what? Sheep of the house of Israel. I mean, they're going to follow whatever influence that they see. If people push strength, people will be stronger because they see strength. And that's the truth also. But when that strong person shows weakness, then it brings doubt into a person saying, why should I have to fight so hard and fight so strong? That's how we can become a stumbling block by the law. When we're not stable, when we're inconsistent, we're breeding inconsistent people under us.
And I missed a point in that 2 Samuel. Read that one more time. 2 Samuel 12 and 14. I'm sorry. Let me read that one more time. It's a point I should have brought out. Verse 14. 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 14.
2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 14. 2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 14. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion.
Stop. He says, you open the door.
Yep.
See, when you go to Timothy, go to 1 Timothy 3 and 1 real quick. Hold that one if you can. And read 1 Timothy 3 and 1. Or it might be 2 Timothy 3 and 1. Desire office of a bishop. It's 1 Timothy 3 and 1. Read that.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This is a true saying.
This is a true saying. Read.
If a man desire the office of a bishop
is like a small version of a king or a small version of a priest.
Yep.
A bishop is a leader of a church congregation.
Yep.
He said, if you desire the office of a bishop or a leader, read on.
He desireth a good work.
It is a great work. It is a good work. It is an honor to do the Lord's work at a high position. Read on.
A bishop then must be blameless.
He said, but what's the first requirement?
That a bishop must be blameless.
What's the first contingency upon being a bishop?
A bishop then must be blameless.
Why is that so important that a bishop be blameless?
Example of the congregation.
Because there's going to be people that don't believe in what you're doing.
Yep.
And they're going to want to try to push weakness. Because they don't really believe. And they don't really want to believe. And by you taking away the opportunity for them to say, see, look at what you're doing. And you're supposed to be a bishop. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be one that understands right and wrong. This is why I don't believe in God. This is why I don't trust the Bible. This is why I don't believe in religion. Or this is why I don't operate in a camp. I don't believe in camp settings, Because look at the foolishness that's going on in the camp. Because there's people that really don't want to serve the Lord anyway. And all you do is give them the leeway and the open door and the opportunity to make the Most High look bad, which they didn't really want to they didn't really want to serve the Most High anyway. But you take away their excuses. I knew this was BS. See, that's why I'm not gonna waste my time. I haven't been on the internet and I didn't see people that joined the camp or became an Israelite or Hebrew or that. You just prove why this is phony. And so the Most High is like, listen. First of all, He don't want us to take the position and not value the importance of maintaining that discipline. But what He wants us to be mindful about the other people that are watching you in this position. Now, King James told his son, he said that you have to conduct yourself a certain way. He told this to his son Prince Henry. He says you have to carry yourself a certain way where your intentions have to be seen, not just heard. So he told his son, you got to make sure that your intentions can be seen. He says, due to the fact that other people have short-sighted vision and aren't able to determine that you mean well in your actions or in your words, so they got to look at actions as the one thing to convince them of why they must follow or be in order. They got to follow. Some people they're not intelligent enough or they're not spiritually discerned enough to realize that a bishop is actually trying to do a good job for the Lord. But in their mind, they have strict criticism, they have an unjust perspective, or they got an evil outlook towards the position. So your actions got to speak for you more than your words got to speak for you. So he says
they have to see the physical works.
They got to see the physical works due to their narrow vision and ability to understand intentions. They can't see intentions.
This is why Christ had to do miracles. Christ taught, but He had to show the Pharisees miracles.
He had to show them miracles because they need to see it to believe it. And that's just the downside of our people's faith. They got to see it work. They got to see it be true. They got to see it be airtight, watertight. If there's any chinks in it, Israel will always use an opportunity to say, this is why the truth doesn't work. This is why the bishop got to be blameless. He's got to take away all excuses from people that barely want to follow anyway.
Yep.
That's why his behavior, his speech, all of it, his actions, all of it must be blameless. So now let that go and go back to verse 14 in Samuel.
Samuel chapter 12 and 2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 14. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion.
He said, because of your actions, David, you open the door. That's why when you're a leader, you're a king, a bishop, even a deacon is an assistant to the bishop of a church. He said, all your actions, they better be right. In any position, even if you're a parent. You can't be hypocritical in front of you. Can't expect your kids to follow you and you're a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. They're watching you do things that you tell them that they shouldn't be doing, and you expect them to respect you. Where's my respect? They don't respect that. You know what they respect? Consistency. And you better back it up with whatever you say or whatever you're demanding by your actions. Read on.
Because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme.
Because there are people that are enemies of God, and they're waiting for a mistake. They are itching for you to make a mistake. They want you to make a mistake. And they're going to use your mistake against you but they're going to blame it on who? Ultimately, they're going to blame it on the Lord. But they're watching you. They watch everything you do to see flaw. Man, I see flaw in this camp. I see flaw with the brothers. I see flaw with the church. I see flaw with I don't like how y'all do things. I don't like how things are done. Yeah. You really didn't want to serve the Lord anyway.
Yeah, and you didn't want the constraint or the restraint of having to sit here and live at a higher standard in the first place.
Right. They didn't
You
want to
don't
do
want
that
to
anyway.
pursue a higher standard because when you're under the scrutinization of that higher standard, you can't perform.
Right.
That's why your longevity in that pursuit of trying to be in the situation doesn't last too long.
And this is why there's always somebody on the outside, standing on the outside with an opinion.
Yeah.
They always have. You're never going to get away from people that have an opinion, that look for negative, look for wrong, waiting for an opportunity to say, that's why I don't go to church. Yeah. That's why I don't believe in the truth. Because our people do that, Salaki.
Yeah.
But you got people that are waiting for that opportunity.
And they live for it.
And when
live
you
for reports.
they live for that.
They don't have a life. But to me, this is the
They got a life, but they don't like their life.
Your life is so bad that you're waiting for like months at a time for another person to have a bad life.
Yeah.
That's misery, huh?
Yeah.
Listen, if you have freedom and you have liberty, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Go to Jamaica, man. Go to
smile.
the Appalachian Mountains and go look at the world from a higher perspective.
Yeah.
Go eat the best foods that are there to be offered. Why do you wait for months and days and weeks to see a flaw? Because you have nothing going on in your life. Because Most High's not blessing you. That's the sign that Most High's not blessing you.
But that's what the enemy does.
God.
But that's what the enemy does. An enemy will look for flaw.
Yeah,
That's how you know your enemies are.
that's true. That's facts.
He said, because the enemies of the Most High. Go ahead.
It says, and have given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme.
And that's what the Most High. That's why the Most High said, "Man, I gotta punish you, because you're allowing the enemies to spread negativity about me.
This is the real reason why David had to get stoned.
That's why that child had to die.
Come. Or the Levites.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly.
Let that go, Taiwan.
That's perfect.
Okay, so let's go real quick. Let's go back to Malachi 2. We're making the Lord look bad, right?
Yeah.
Because listen, watch. Well, we're going to read it. What Bagosa says. He says the same thing. He does the same thing to us.
The Most High is very conscious of how people's perspective, how people look at him.
Yes.
He's very conscious of how we look at him, and he's very conscious of how outsiders look at him.
Yes. Because listen, the goal is to sit back here. He keeps saying, he says, the world's going to serve me. Remember when we read in Malachi chapter 1?
Yeah.
He said, despite your wickedness, he said, the world's going to still serve me, man. They're going to still honor me.
Exactly.
Regardless of how you act, regardless of how negative you are, they're going to still honor me. Because he's like, you guys are supposed to be the people that the nation serve, and look up and say, man, these Hebrews are for real about this. You guys are messing up. You're going to make me look bad. Like, despite you screwing up,
Yes.
they're going to still give me my glory.
Yeah.
This was but the only way to do it, Moses had to sit back here, eventually to change our hearts, make us perfect. That's the only way, to get the whole world to appreciate us. He has to change our heart and for us to love each other naturally in order for this to work.
Yeah.
Anyway, Malachi 2 and verse 8.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 8. But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts.
Now read Leviticus 19. Yeah, 19 and 14. I mean, Shem Shawan and Dariat explained it better than what this verse says, but this verse was just to explain that it was a law, not to be a poor example and to be a stumbling block for your brother. Read that real quick.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 14. Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shall fear thy power. I am the Lord.
He's saying the blind need to be led.
Wow.
Don't use your power and influence to destroy them. Don't get in the way of their growth. This is why Paul, when he taught, was so much about not getting anything out the deal. He didn't want anything that he got or did to hinder our experience in Christ. That's why he was saying that. He said, I don't want to even get in the way. Even if it's about money, I'll make my own money. I'll sit back here and work for my wages. I'm not going to be that economic parasite. I'm not going to be anything that can cause you to have skepticism towards Christ.
Yeah.
Because that was the one-way ticket to pissing the Heavenly Father off and to pissing Christ off. But once again, that's what he was saying, that the people that had the experience, don't forget, whether it was Elisha or the son was Judas or John, they were supposed to be the ones that everybody looked up to. And we were about to read, the shenanigans came from the top. And this is why the Most High was so upset with the leadership.
You know, you look at I was watching this YouTube short where this cop stole this guy's money. and then he got caught by other cops.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And the guy said, look, he was in handcuffs. He said, look, man, my money's right there. And the blue hundreds right there in his door, that's my money. And the cop said, I'm sorry. He said, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
And the guy was like, look, man, the cop stole my money. And then he got busted by the other cops. He had to lose his badge.
So the cops didn't back their guy?
No, the cops on the camera, the cop said, listen, Tom, we're going to, whatever his name was, we're going to take your gun. And they started taking his gun off his belt. It was deactivating him at that moment.
At the site?
On site. They started taking his gun off his waist. They said, look, man, we're going to take the gun. I'm sorry, guys. But, you know, you did.
How, did they see it? Who saw it?
Another cop was listening to the guy saw it, said, man, he took my money, took my hundreds. He said, I heard my rubber band snap. He said, he snapped my rubber band. I knew he took my money. And then they actually found some hundreds in the door, in the little cubby of the door of the cop car. So he caught. But these bad cops give the good cops a bad name.
Yeah.
You make the police look bad.
Yeah.
Police are necessary when it's a problem.
Yeah.
But bad cops make good cops look like crap.
Now people hate the cops. Now they hate the cops. They're throwing water on them in New York.
Yeah.
Cops getting water thrown on them. It's like they're getting
Trash thrown on them.
Getting off the Exactly.
But when you got bad ones that defile the position, you make the whole police force look bad through your bad actions. It's the same thing with the Lord. Through our bad actions, we make the truth look bad. We make the Most High look bad. But go ahead.
No doubt. So read verse 9 real quick.
2 Malachi chapter 2 and verse 9. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people.
He said, because you guys can't carry yourself, the priest and the leadership keep being poor examples. He says, and I have to embarrass you. I have to bring your dirt out for everybody to see. Because obviously the negative that the priests were doing, only the Most High and the other priests could see it. And he said, now that your actions have gone so high up, now I have to embarrass you and bring you down in front of all the nation. And in front of all of these other nations to embarrass you. Just like he had to do David.
Nope.
You were doing it in darkness and in the secret. Now I got to bring it all. I got to show how dysfunctional this priesthood is and bring it out for the whole world to see. Okay? So before we show this dysfunction, let's go real quick to Nehemiah chapter 12, verse 10 and 11. Nehemiah 12, verse 10 and 11.
Nehemiah chapter 12 and verse 10.
Okay, let's read that.
Nehemiah chapter 12 and verse 10.
These are the priests. Read verse 1 real quick.
Nehemiah chapter 12 and verse 1. Now these are the priests and the Levites that went up with Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua, Sariah, Jeremiah, Ezra.
So he's going to give the lineage of the priest to the present day in Nehemiah. Now let's jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. And Jeshua begot Joachim.
Jeshua was the high priest, the first high priest that got sent up from Babylon to come back to Israel. Okay? So it was Jeshua. Read on.
And Jeshua begat Joachim. Joachim also begat Eliashib. And Eliashib begat Joiada.
So Eliashib was the high priest during the time of Nehemiah. Okay? And then Eliashib had Joiada. Now Joiada another name for Jehoiada, was Judas in Josephus, book 11, chapter 7, paragraph 1. Okay? So Jehoiada was Judas. Read on.
Verse 10. And Jeshua begat Joachim, and Joachim also begat Eliashib, and Eliashib begat Joiada, and Joiada begat Jonathan.
Jonathan. Now, Jonathan is the high priest we're talking about at this particular time. We just want to make sure we understand this lineage before we start talking about the priesthood that we're about to go into. So Eliashib died, but he was corrupt. He wasn't perfect. Then you had Jehoiada. He had his run and then he passed. Now we're dealing with Jonathan. Okay? So let's go back to Josephus, book 11, chapter 7. Let's read paragraph 1, and we're going to read it from the top and read further down. Okay?
So, book 11.
Chapter 7.
Page 305.
Paragraph 1. And just read till we stop.
Josephus, book 11, chapter 7, paragraph 1.
One second. Let me check something in my my notes real quick. I don't want to overstep where I'm going with this. Okay, so don't read that part. Okay, let's keep going. Paragraph 1.
Josephus, book 11, chapter 7, paragraph 1. When Eliashib, the high priest, was dead, his son Judas succeeded in the high priesthood. And when he was dead, his son John took the dignity, on whose account it was also that Bagoses, the general of another
Artaxerxes
army, polluted the temple and imposed tributes on the Jews, that out of the public stock, before they offered the daily sacrifices, they should pay for every lamb 50 shekels.
So that was 100 a day, which was breaking the priesthood. So the priesthood was breaking financially. Read on.
Now Jesus was the brother of John.
Stop. Now I was letting you know that there was another man who was the brother of the high priest John or Jonathan. Jonathan had a brother. Now Jonathan was the high priest. His brother's name was Jesus. Read on.
And was a friend of Bagoses.
Now here we go. Now this guy Jesus, he was a friend of Bagoses. He was a friend of the nations. He was a friend of the general. Read on.
Who had promised to procure him the high priesthood.
Stop. Now what ends up happening, this becomes a problem. Now this was part of that curse the Most High said he was going to bring to the priesthood. Because of all this negative and of all these distractions and all these priesthood being bad examples to the nation, he was going to bring this shame to the priesthood. Now real quick, I want to bring to our recollection Nehemiah chapter 13. Nehemiah 13 and Nehemiah 13 verse 27 through 29.
Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 27. Shall we then hearken?
Matter of fact, read verse 23 down.
Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod and Ammon and of Moab, and their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people.
So this was a weakness in the people. The people were marrying foreign women. to the degree that their children were losing their culture. They didn't know Hebrew. If they didn't speak Hebrew, how connected were they to the laws of the Heavenly Father? You can just put two and two together. So the people as a whole, the culture was diminishing. We were marrying foreign women. And we were disconnecting from the Heavenly Father through marriage. Read on.
And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them.
So Nehemiah sat back here and was contending and arguing and getting physical with some of these men who were committing these acts of fornication, because that's what it is. That's what the scripture calls fornication. We're marrying strange wives. That's one form of fornication. It's marrying strange wives and having those children partake in their beliefs and ideologies.
And dealing with confusion, entertaining and building confusion inside the nation.
God. So read on.
And plucked off their hair, and made them swear by the Most High, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto your sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations were there no kings like him, who was beloved of his power, and the Most High made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
Okay, so we know that Solomon sinned with all the women. Okay, and we know the people were sitting back here and following the same pattern Solomon did. Read on. Verse 27.
Verse 27. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our power in marrying strange wives? And one of the sons of Joiada, the son of Elishib, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat, the Horonite. Therefore I chased him from me.
I want to make sure I'm bringing this verse out, because this guy, if you're looking at what we're reading in the Josephus, his pattern ties in to what we read in the scriptures. Okay, he says one of the sons of Jehoiada, the son of Eliashib, meaning he was the son of Jehoiada and the grandson of Eliashib. So Eliashib had Jehoiada, just like we read in the Josephus. When Eliashib, high priest, was dead, his son Judas, or Jehoiada, succeeded in the high priesthood. And when he was dead, his son John, or Jonathan, took the dignity. So what he's saying is, one son ended up evolving into being the high priest, but one of his other sons was sitting back here and was son-in-law to the Horonite, which was a non-Israelite woman. Okay, so this was a priest. This was the grandson of the high priest was marrying non-Israelite women, and he was doing deals with the governors and the leaders of the Persian Empire. Okay, so with that knowledge, go back to the Josephus. Go to say verse. No, read verse 30. Keep going. Keep reading. Keep reading. Read verse 28 again.
Verse 28.
Is this confusing? I know these names are being brought up a bunch of times. Is it confusing? I want to make sure we're clear. Sanballat was a high priest. His son was Jehoiada, but Eliashib's grandson was dealing with a nation and married a nation. And a priest in particular couldn't deal with any nation.
God.
It was even stricter on the high priest to deal with the nations and mingle themselves.
Sanballat was not a high priest.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, you said Sanballat the high priest.
No.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is Eliashib was the high priest.
Okay.
The grandson of Eliashib married Sanballat, which was Sanballat's daughter.
The nation. And
married a nation. And a high priest can't, or a Levite can't sit back here and marry any of the high priests. I'm sorry, can't marry any of the nations.
No,
the Most High is even stricter on the Levites. I don't know whose phone it is. Can y'all? Okay.
Yeah, and then a Levite can't even marry a widowed woman.
Levi had strict responsibilities on who they can and cannot marry. But this guy sat back here and was messing around and marrying nations anyway.
Wow.
Okay. Now listen, it catches up All that stuff we read in Nehemiah 13 is catching up now. So now, one of the men, John, was named high priest. This guy Jesus was the brother of John. He wasn't named high priest. I wonder why. How was one guy made high priest and one guy wasn't made high priest?
Good question.
Maybe one guy was messing with foreign gals and had foreign babies, speaking Alhamdulillah languages.
Yeah.
So they said, I can't have you sit back here and be the next high priest up when you're sitting back here marrying other foreign wives.
And we already did that as a nation.
Con. And we fell apart when we sat back here and married when Jehoshaphat's son married a woman that was half nine and half tribes, half Zidonian.
Exactly.
And it didn't turn out right for us way back when. They wiped out all the damn Judite princes. All the line of David almost got wiped out because of her. Her name was Athaliah. Messing around with the foreign nations in positions of power.
Sloppy, brother. It's notification. I just needed the light.
Can you just cut the notification off?
And that's what I was trying to do now.
Just keep do what you got to do, bro. It's all good.
It's a lot.
So, with that being the case, read now Jesus, the brother of John.
Yeah.
That's back in Josephus?
Yes, back in Josephus.
Okay.
This is messing up again. Nobody's touching it either.
That's the cord. That's the cord. Most of them put on that side too.
I'm sorry. Before you go there, finish verse 28 and 29 in Nehemiah. My apologies. Nehemiah 13,
Yes, sir.
28 and 29.
Nehemiah chapter 13 and verse 28. And one of the sons of Joiada, the son of Eliashib, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat, the Horonite. Therefore I chased him from me. Remember them, O my power, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood.
So once again, we're constantly defiling the priesthood. And Nehemiah is like, you got to mark this guy, Father. This guy can't be the priest. He's defiling the priesthood. He can't be the grandson of the heir. It can't be this guy. Okay? Which makes, and this is me assuming, but it's kind of easy to put two and two together. He was the eldest. This guy, Judas, was the eldest. He was the one caught marrying foreign women. And he was like, listen, this guy can't sit back here defiling the priesthood by being the high priest with a foreign rib. It can't happen. Read on.
And of the Levites. Thus cleansed I them from all strangers, and appointed the wards of the priests and the Levites, every one in his business.
So he's like, listen, this guy, and we're going to relate on his name was Jesus, this guy can't be the high priest. He's marrying foreign women. We can't deal with this guy at this top spot. But now we're sitting back here in the Josephus. Let's get back to, it says now, it's right after the 50 shekels one in the first paragraph. Now Jesus was the brother of John.
298, line 298. Now Jesus was the brother of John, and was a friend of Bagoses.
And doesn't that sound similar to what this guy was doing? Who was a friend of the Sanballat and married his wife? This guy had a proclivity with dealing with the nations. So now this guy, Jesus, is dealing with the nations again. He's cool with Bagoses. He was cool with Sanballat. He's marrying foreign women. You have one guy that's a priest that's lining himself up with the foreign nations. And you have John, who's sitting back here, who's a high priest, trying to do his job for the Most High. And there's about to be a collision course with both of them. So this Jesus guy was a brother of John. Read on.
And was a friend of Bagoses, who had promised to procure him the high priesthood, in confidence of whose support Jesus quarreled with John in the temple.
Stop. So he's like, obviously, if you put two and two together, Jesus had the backing of Bagoses and the military. John was the one appointed by his father, and the priest backed him. There was a lot of strife and chaos amongst the priests, and there was strivings for power. for Jesus to sit back and be bold enough to challenge and attack Jonathan, not attack physically, but to challenge John or Jonathan in the temple. You know, tempers were flaring, and this was boiling up and bubbling for quite some time. Now,
Sibling rivalry.
it was sibling rivalry, and it was striving for power. And what you're going to see is a constant theme from here on out of one person in the leadership position striving for righteousness and trying to do things the right way, and you're going to see another guy striving for that same position, but listening and using the resources of the foreign nation that has the power to get position into the kingdom. You're going to read it here. You're going to read the next generation after Jonathan. You're going to read it in the struggle with the Jews to keep the culture of the Jews, and some Jews trying to assimilate with the Greek culture. You're going to constantly see this theme build on amongst the nation. But the major reason is what the Most High said in Malachi. What the Most High said in Malachi, he was going to sit back here and, let me get there real quick, and make us contemptible and base before all the people. You know how you sit back here and make people look bad? Have inner quarrels at the top. When you sit back here and have warring factions at the top and having all this warring, clashing, and leadership, they make us look like we're a bunch of, you know what, Niggas. We can't put it together and come together for the nation. Even Esau can sit back here when they're doing elections. They're fighting like hell at the top to get to the top. But then once the guy is the president, you know, we got to sit back and rally behind this guy now for the benefit of the nation. We can't even do that. So what he's saying is he's going to make us look base in front of the entire world, our people and the entire world, because we've been partial in the law. We've been partial in how we're acting. Now there's going to be a split and a division amongst the men at the top. And what's crazy is Jesus didn't give any damn care about who the Most High brought up at that position. All he cared about is him getting his rightful position despite the woman he chose, despite the affiliations he connected himself with. He didn't think one time, damn, my conduct is why I'm not at the top, why I wasn't chosen to be high.
Because it can't be my fault.
And that's the part. That's what I want to focus on. Before we focus on what happens after they quarrel, I just want to kind of focus on, for a little bit, what happens when people aren't conscious of the big picture, aren't conscious of the fact that Most High chose this man to be the point man. And it's not about you pushing yourself in any way. The first verse is Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 26. There's a lot of lessons in just this small paragraph. And I don't want to rush through through this process. Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, chapter 4 and 26.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 26. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 26. Be not ashamed to confess thy sins, and force not the course of the river.
He's like, listen, the second part is what I want to focus on. This man that was a priest wasn't chosen to be the priest. And his whole focus was to force the course of a river. I'm not touching it. Yet the Spirit was sitting back here and moved away from him to go to John. And he couldn't accept it. So now he's got to force the course by aligning himself with Bogosis, getting promises from Bogosis that he'll put him at the top position of the priesthood. Now he's going to sit back here and flex because I got to go over the Most High's head to get what I want. That's what Israel does all the time too.
Oh man, that's the major one right there.
Israel goes over the top to get over the head of the person that they don't agree with to get what they want They do it all the time.
Trying to
If
manipulate.
you're not going to give me what I want, then I'll go above your head and I'll get confirmation from somebody else.
We do it all the time, huh? And this is us just forcing the course of the river. The river is going downstream. No, we're going to force this going up. We're going to go up. We're going to go upstream. I'm going to fight to get what I want because it's about what I want. I don't care what's destroyed. I don't care if my relationship with my brother's destroyed. I don't care if the priesthood is shattered.
Or I don't care if I'm about to break trust.
I don't care if the priesthood's shattered, the work is shattered, everything falls apart. None of that matters but me getting what I want.
Create distinction.
I don't care if dissension and division is. I don't care. I'm gonna get what I want.
Yep.
Listen, the decree was made for John to be the high priest. Why wasn't that enough for him?
I'm not really about the order. I'm not
Exactly.
really about order and structure and law.
And accepting that the Most High put me in this situation.
Yep.
And he must have been angry because he was the older, and the younger took his spot.
Listen, a person wants the benefit. It's like Esau. You want to be the older brother and get the benefits of the inheritance, but at the same time you want to sell your birthright. You can't do both.
And that's the truth.
And then you know how sibling rivalry goes. It gets personal
I know.
because nobody know you like your brother.
Yep.
And then so they throwing jabs. They start to throw jabs that only they understand that what can get under that other person's skin and what can actually push his button. Yeah, because I know what to say. I know your dirt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you know how brothers argue and fight, man, it gets tense, bro.
It gets vicious.
It gets tense.
It gets
bro.
vicious. And this is what's happening at the highest level of the priesthood in Israel. Two brothers fighting for jockeying for a position. One was did the right way, and the other person going to try to manufacture whatever kind of false way he can get his power out. He's making it a damn telenovela, a soap opera. He's making it a soap opera. So let's go real quick to Ecclesiasticus 7:4. Yeah.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 and verse 4. Seek not of the Lord preeminence.
He says, you can't sit back here if the Most High didn't put you at the top. Stop trying to fight to get to the top or to be at the top unnaturally. Wait your turn.
That sounds like Dathan and Korah.
At
the time of Moses.
Wait your turn for the Most High to bring you up. Read on.
Neither of the king the seat of honor.
He says, stop trying to fight to get to that seat of honor. We're going to read it in the gospel about waiting to get pulled up to the seat of honor. Waiting to get chosen in the seat of honor. And especially, you can tell this guy, why he wasn't chosen in the first place. You got to go to the nations to sit back here and get the power to pull your brother out of position? You already sitting back here. You got to put two and two together on this. But this has got to be the same one that married the foreign woman. And was disobedient. And was more ambitious on the left-hand side than being an order on the right-hand side.
Because he's a man of industry.
He was an industrious man.
Yeah, industrious people. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being diligent, having a strong work ethic. But if your heart's not right, it kills all the benefit of your efforts. Because the effort and the energy and the spirit of the person put together was just to feed their own belly and satiate their natural personal appetites.
Okay.
It wasn't for the jealousy of the Lord. It wasn't for righteousness' sake. It wasn't for the poor and needy. It wasn't for the people. So if you work hard and bust your tail, that's good. Scripture says a man works because he craves it for his own mouth.
Okay.
Man goes to work to feed himself.
Well, and that's what it should be. Now keep reading in verse 5.
Verse 5. Justify not thyself before the Lord.
Listen, what are you justifying yourself for? To be justified in a position that you don't have. Because this is all Jesus is doing. I'm trying to justify my reason to be over this person. I have a laundry list of reasons why I should be the man and not my brother. Or it don't have to be a sibling rivalry. That's just how rank is.
Yeah, same thing.
How do you justify yourself for the Lord? You sit back here and you keep seeing what he don't do right.
Yep.
You sit back here and you scope him down. He don't do this right. He's off on this level. He's flawed in this reason and this and this. This is why he ain't over me. He shouldn't be over me. And you're convincing yourself to the Lord that you shouldn't have to obey who the Lord put over you. Read on.
And boast not of thy wisdom before the king.
So it goes hand in hand. I'm tearing down the person the Most High has over me while boasting myself at the same time. I don't do this. I don't do what this cat does. I don't roll like this dude.
Yeah, this guy can't hold my jockstrap.
Exactly. You're saying this because you're envious of the position of the person over you. He says you don't even want to be in that. You don't even want to operate like that. Men do it. Women do it.
Yep.
They're sizing people up to justify why you should be in a spot above another person. Read on.
Seek not to be judged.
Because ultimately, what is it that you want to be? You want to be the top dog.
Yep.
And you're breaking the top person down. You're mentally breaking them down just so that you're justified to be at the position, just what Jesus did.
You discredit the person that's in the position because you really want that position.
To justify yourself being in that position.
And this is why I'll have 5 things available at all times why this person shouldn't be in that position.
Because what do you think when it says, boast not thy wisdom before the king? What do you think he was saying to Bogosis to get Bogosis to say, man, I'll back you? Why would Bogosis even sit back here and get in the middle of this?
Yeah.
Unless Jesus is saying, man, John ain't doing this, he ain't doing that, he's flawed in this, he's weak in this. I wouldn't do that. I'll be a better priest than he is. Okay.
I can't follow him.
I can't because he can't operate. He don't operate
I can't follow this person, but you can't be followed.
But this is what he's saying. I got to tear him down, and I got to convince the king that you should back me. Versus just allowing Israel to govern themselves.
Get a verse on that too.
Yeah.
James chapter 4 verse 11.
James chapter 4 and verse 11. Speak not evil one of another.
But why would somebody speak evil of another person?
He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law.
Because the law is about what? The law is made for what? The lawless. It's made for righteousness, but the law is made for the lawless. So the law is made for order. It's made for order and it's made for obedience. So if I'm speaking evil about somebody, I don't like the order of how things are done.
Yep.
I don't like the order that I'm in. This is why people will talk down on other people. Because I don't like the fact that this person may have an advantage over me. This person may be over me, or I have to follow this person. I have to listen to this person. Read on.
He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law.
Go ahead.
And judgeth the law.
Read. Because you're saying that the law, you're saying that this person shouldn't be over me. I don't got to follow this person. The law is all about establishing obedience and order. Well, you're saying I don't have to follow this person. This person is not qualified to follow. This person is not qualified for the position. Read on.
But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law.
He said, but if you're speaking evil of your brother because you don't like the position you're in, you're not a doer of the law, but what?
But a judge.
But you're a judge. You're not a brother. You're not a brother. You're a judge. Because all you want to do is sit in a seat of authority. Everybody that wants a high seat, but aren't in it and aren't willing to. The scripture say, if a man strive for masteries, he is not crowned except he strive how? Lawfully. That means you have to follow the steps to work your way up into a high position. And if you don't want to follow the steps, what do people start doing? Tearing down the people that are in the position. Because I don't want to follow the steps that it takes to be in a leadership position. So what do? That person shouldn't be there. If I can't really, what you're saying is if I can't have it, he can't either.
Kinda.
If I can't be in this position, he can't either. If I can't have what I want, then that person can't have what they want. They're not going to get that from me. I'm not following that. I'm not in agreement to it.
Yep.
It's a damn shame. It's a shame, really. You can let that go. Go back to Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, it was clear 7.
7 and 5.
Let's go to Psalms real quick. 75 and 6. Psalm 75 and 6. 6 and 7.
Psalm 75 and verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
And this is what that priest Jesus wasn't accepting. The Most High promoted Jonathan, his brother. The Most High felt Jonathan was more fit to be at the position than Jesus was fit to be at the position, and Jesus couldn't handle it. Jesus couldn't sit back and say, "Man, what have I done to get demoted? What did I do to not be allowed to be put in the position that I thought I was supposed to be?" Maybe it was the foreign wives.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the fact that I wanted my palms greased too much. Maybe I was too worldly. Maybe I wanted to be too much a part of the world.
I had an alternate agenda. Because a lot of people, they don't want to give up their life for a selfless agenda. So men carry in their back pocket, in their little sock, and their little secret pockets in their spirit, they carry alternate agendas, and it comes out in the midst of their service for Christ.
God.
Or the midst of their pursuance for office.
God. It's the truth. This is why the title of the class is Consequence of Corruption. That was the beginning part of the class. The consequence of corruption was the fact that their pockets got hit.
Yep.
You were about your pockets get hit. Now we're reading about these infighting and all the fighting amongst brothers, and we're going to read later on next week about the consequences of that infighting. But today I just want to go a little bit more on the infighting amongst that jealousy, because there's really jealousy and envy of the position.
But you see that once there's less resources.
Yep.
When there's less resources and there's less space to have, then you see people how they really feel come out.
Yeah.
The hatred of men and the pettiness of men comes out when there's less opportunities for individualism.
You know, so Jesus, of the brother Jonathan and Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two brothers.
Yep.
Jesus had the foreign wife. John was the high priest.
It has to be that way, because only one brother was talked about in Nehemiah 12, and it was the grandson of Eliashib that had the foreign woman. And then you read the next verse that he's corrected, and Nehemiah corrects him. And then you read, let me see.
But they both weren't corrected.
It was just one guy was getting corrected and chastised. Mm-hmm. And specifically, Nehemiah
said, okay, I got you.
Nehemiah said in 13, he said
29.
He says, "Remember them, O my power, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and the Levites." He's talking specifically about that guy, that grandson of Eliashib, that's sitting back here bringing foreign women in there.
So was that Jonathan or Jesus?
That's the point. You got to put two and two together, because one was elevated, and the other started hanging out with Bagos, another foreigner, and dealing with this foreigner.
Every beast shall cleave
to his own light.
So if you're coagulating, connecting to foreigners, it's because you love foreigners. Because
he was already, he said he was the son-in-law to Sanballat the Horonite. And Sanballat was the chief guy in Samaria.
Mm-hmm.
He married his wife. So somebody's proclivity is to deal with the nations and do deals with them top dogs. Somebody got a proclivity for that. That's why I say I'm putting two and two together. But I'm pretty confident in this direction I'm taking this.
Because didn't Tobiah marry into the family? That's why he had a suite in the temple?
Well, he didn't marry into the priesthood family. He married one of the nobles, one of the princesses' wives.
Right, but it was
a Judite wife.
But he was already an affiliate of Sanballat.
Yes. No. Tobiah was number two to Sanballat.
It was the Arab, Geshem the Arab, Sanballat, Sanballat was number 1.
Yep.
Tobiah was number 2, and Geshem the Arabian.
Yeah, and Tobiah was an Ammonite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
And Tobiah was cool. What married a Judite woman of the princes and nobles of the Judites.
God. So they were already having these discussions about marrying foreign women
and linking in. That's why they were already linking in and marrying in at these positions. And this one priest did it, which was even more out of the line than the Judites that did it.
Yep.
Like, you can't do this as a priest.
That almost like, you know, things that we do become a fad.
Kinda.
It becomes popular.
Yeah.
It becomes custom. Like, you know,
and this is why and this is why the Most High was so mad at these priests being a stumbling block for all the other Israelites that are marrying foreign wives. They're like, if this priest can sit back here and do it, why can't I do it? That was how the priests were being stumbling blocks to the people.
Because we're sheep.
And we said earlier.
And we'll follow anything and everything that we see.
To justify our lust. He's grazing. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
How come I can't eat over there? Blah, 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 blah. That's how we are.
Yeah.
But if the leader's doing it, why can't I do it? So I strongly believe that the same guy that's marrying foreign women and doing allegiances with Bagoses to get a position he thought he deserved to have. I don't think that's stretching it too much, man.
And it shows how the men don't. What it really shows also with that is how men look at position, and they don't look at it from a spiritual perspective. They look at it from a beneficial perspective.
Yeah. Because being the top dog, you can get better benefits.
It's good to be king.
Yeah, James chapter 3, verse 16.
James chapter 3 and verse 16. For where envyings and strife is,
It said, for where envying and strife is, go ahead.
there is confusion.
They said one thing we do know that was happening in the temple.
Yep.
It was a whole lot of confusion in that damn temple.
Yeah. And it was a curse. That was part of the curse the Most High said was going to happen. Because you shame me, I'm going to bring all of your dirty laundry out for everybody to see. He says, Malachi 2 and 9. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as ye have not yet kept my ways, but have been partial in the law. Because you've been partial and wicked, I'm going to bring all this chaos and this drama for everybody to see. But keep going. What you say? I just want to bring that part out.
No, that's perfect. Read on that one.
James chapter 3 and verse 14.
16.
16, select. For where envying and strife is,
Where two people can't get along at, whether they're on the job or whether they're in the house, no matter where they are, where two people can't get along at, and if somebody's envious of another, read on.
there is confusion.
He said, what's there with those two people?
Confusion.
There's a bunch of confusion going on in the temple. Read on.
And every evil work.
It says, and every single evil work is present. Nothing good is going to come out of two people that are envious of each other. Or two people that are having contentions with each other. He said, nothing good is going to come out of it. Read on.
Verse 17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure.
It said, but what's there when that confusion is there? Read verse 15.
Verse 15. This wisdom descendeth not from above.
It said that confusion that people can't get along. That's not the wisdom that God wanted us to use on the earth. That's not how God wanted things. Most High didn't want us to be at odds with each other all the time out of envy or jealousy. Read on.
But is earthly.
He said, but this wisdom is what?
Earthly.
And what else?
Sensuous.
It's sensuous. It's sensual. And what else?
Devilish.
So who's present when that confusion is present? No, the devil is present. The devil is, when there's envying going on and contention going on and fighting going on, you know how many people escalate a situation and the arguments get out of hand?
Yep.
Between husband and wife, or brothers and brothers, or brothers and sisters, or two friends start going at it and it just starts escalating. Who is in there with them in that argument? The devil's in there with them. The Most High's not with them in that argument. Somebody let the devil in.
Come.
And what can you expect to happen when the devil is involved in this, even in the temple of the Most High? What's bound to happen?
Negative, confusion,
Yeah.
shame. After all of it is shame.
And consequences.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Shame and consequences. We'll go into that a little bit later. But let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2 through 7.
Second Timothy chapter 2. Said 2 through 7?
Mm-hmm.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 2. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also.
We're supposed to teach this message that Christ gave us, to teach it to people who are going to be able to listen and teach it to others also. It's about teaching it to capable and faithful people who will take this word on and deliver this message to the next man. Read on.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua.
Mm-hmm.
No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
He says if you're fighting the right way, if you're in a fighting spirit, you won't give in to this world. The point is, he's letting you know the only way to maintain your spirit is to operate as if you are a soldier. What does that mean? Listen, have you ever seen those Vietnam movies back in the day? When they were sitting back here, when they were walking from town to town, when they were in the middle of the battlefield, when they were, shots were being shot, they were always what? Alert. To be a soldier, he's bringing out a soldier, because a soldier has to always be alert and serious and conscious of his surroundings. Because if you're going to be a servant of the Lord, you have to operate like a soldier in Christ. You
Same
have
mentality, just different office.
Just different office. Alert. Listen, when you're in a foreign country, can you get comfortable?
No, sir.
You cannot get comfortable. Listen, when they was in Vietnam, I don't know if people know this, they were living underground, in the dirt. So you can sit back here and walk past one of the little hidden bunkers. They can come back from behind you and just pop you out. They can come right from the dirt. Bop, 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 bop. Listen, bro. Easily, it can happen. He's telling you, you have to operate like you're a soldier. You walk, you don't know if you gonna step on a landmine. If people, I haven't been in combat, but listen, people, you can sit back here and step on a landmine. Your life is over, man.
That's that.
That's it. So
They had these, especially in Vietnam, they have what's called these claymore mines.
Mhm.
Claymore mines is like it's like a mine that's about the size of the Apocrypha. It's like sideways, and it's concave, so it has a little bend in it. And what it is on the front of this mine is thousands of little steel ball bearings on the front, and behind the mine is C4, and then it has a tripwire to it.
Mm.
So when you step on that claymore mine, that little tripwire, it ignites the C4 and it blows out all these thousands of ball bearings your direction. So whatever's in front of that mine turns into shreds. It turns into pink mist because it just rip your whole body to shreds. And the Viet Cong had all those Russian made weapons. They had the AK-47s.
Yeah.
And they had the claymore mines. And they had all kind of little, and then they had their own punji sticks and man-made weapons that they had.
Mm-hmm. Don't fall those dishes. Don't fall those dishes.
Deadfall traps.
Yeah, bro. You're dead. You are dead.
Slow death, though.
Punji
They
sticks.
put poison on the tips?
Poison on the tip, or feces. They put their own feces on the tips of the punji sticks.
Yes, they do.
So when you fall over a deadfall trap, you think you're stepping on some leaves, you fall into a 10-foot pit of spikes that's been white with feces, and then there's snakes at the bottom. Poisonous snakes at the bottom. It's over, bro. That's a double. That's a double win.
You can yell all. It's over, bro. You can yell and scream. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter.
You know, I was falling in that pit.
They had another little contraption where it was two pieces of wood on each side, and they're full of nails, and then they're covered with leaves, and it's only about a foot deep. So what happens is, when your foot goes in, it's like a crank. Your foot goes in with the nails, but you can't pull it. You can't pull it back out. You can't pull it out the box.
Why?
Because the nails have your foot inverted.
Oh, it pulls.
It rolls. It's like this has spikes, and there's two pieces of wood with nails on both sides. So you step in the middle, and then it falls in this way. You can't pull your foot back out. You're just there screaming like a bear trap. Ah! Ah!
Exactly.
So with all those scary, horrifying images in your head now you know why you're walking very careful every step of the way, and you got to follow the person in front of you step. You ain't taking no foreign steps. Or water in the woods.
Or do your own thing. End up in that, like Shashawan brought out. End up in those little landmines, those little spiritual traps, little map where you are exposed on your own.
And this is why it says you got to be a good soldier.
And then you get separated from the group. That's what happens.
And the only way to survive in Christ also is to be alert. And not be so cavalier with the thoughts you feed.
You're right.
The influences you surround yourself
Being
with.
drunk.
The people you sit back here and operate around. This is the soldier you're talking about. Everybody want to think about push-ups and marching. It's about the circumspection that you're supposed to operate in every day of your life. Those are the individuals who grow.
But there's traps, like someone's bringing out. There's traps for those that don't believe in that mindset. It's already hard. What you've chosen to do to be Israelite, you've chosen to be a teacher, to be a priest, to be an officer, it's already going to be hard. But you're making your life a double battle by deviating because you don't tap fully into the spirit that you were created to serve.
And the alertness that you need. Read verse 3 in Timothy again. 2 Timothy 2 and 3.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai.
The hardness says, listen, man, my life depends on me operating like this.
Yes.
My life depends on me being serious about every decision I make, every move I make, every person I associate myself with. Everything is life or death, which it really is. Read on.
No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
If we're really about serving the Most High and you're really in a fighting spirit, you don't get caught up with these distractions. You don't get caught up with this comfort. You're on alert. You're aware of everywhere you're at. You're making every decision is life or death. Read on.
That he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
Because it's about operating like that to please Christ. Okay? Read on.
And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
And this is the reason I brought this verse out in the first place. If a person is trying to sit back here and attain masteries, add different talents and abilities to himself, you're not going to get rewarded or crowned unless you strive lawfully. This is something that we have to accept about the Most High. If you're not doing things the right way, the Most High is not going to elevate you and reward you for your work. He's not going to bring you up if you're not doing what you're supposed to do the way you're supposed to do.
You're just going to be mad at those that are above you.
Exactly. But the way you're supposed to think is, listen, I obviously didn't operate properly enough to get rewarded.
True.
What do I got to do to fix in me? What do I got to fix in me to get rewarded?
But you know, what you're asking a person to do is to be honest with themselves.
Yep.
If you're asking them to say, what do I need to fix in myself?
This verse, I know what you're thinking, was a verse I'm thinking about as far as an honesty class. This is a perfect honesty class verse. Because you got to be honest. You got to be honest in your evaluation. Maybe the person that got the position does it better than I do. Maybe the guy that's in front of me has more experience than I have.
Mm-hmm.
And can I accept that? Am I going to accept that more than Oh, it's what do you call it? It's
Favoritism,
it's
nepotism, all
favoritism, nepotism. You just like this person more than you like me. That's the carnal mind says that.
Yeah.
It's unfair. Oh, that person just sits back here and is always talking to him. So they getting chummy with that guy. That's why he got the
You
promotion.
had more opportunities than I had. Because then we get the spirit of, I didn't have the opportunities.
Yep.
That kind of thinking can rip a person's life apart. Because you're going to age and think about your life, I never had the opportunity for this. I never had the opportunity for that. Versus looking for the opportunity to maximize on the opportunities that you already have.
I know.
We don't think about maximizing what we've been given. We focus on what we have not been, what we have not received.
Okay.
That's how you have a miserable life. That's a formula for miserable.
You look at you got winners, losers, and sore losers. You know what I'm saying? You got like Gilbert Arenas. He ain't never won a ring, but he's always talking about championships. But he had the potential to be a champion.
Talking about Carmelo?
Gilbert
Pull a gun out, Gilbert.
Yeah, but who told him to bring a gun to practice?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who thought it'd be a good idea to bring a pistol, a loaded weapon to a practice?
Well, who told you to sit back and gamble at the why are you gambling at the Washington Wizards Stadium? Why are you gambling with other Jake dudes at the stadium to bring guns?
Yeah.
Because why were the guns brought?
The guns brought because you owe me some money.
That's the that's why the gambling debt got to get settled.
Yeah.
That's real. Why are you sitting back here hustling versus working on your jump shot?
You know, but then but now when they talk about the greats, he's always angry because he's not in the conversation with the greats, even though he had the potential to be.
He said, "How come I can't be a GOAT?"
Yeah,
because you got a gun.
Because you make stupid decisions.
You go to guns.
Yeah,
you go to gun toting.
You're a place to go burst,
bro.
No, you're right because he says he has the craziest opinions about things.
He has the craziest opinions about who should be top 5, who's the best in the NBA ever lived, and he's always angry that people don't look at his work. They don't give him the respect. But you destroyed yourself and your opportunity when you were in prime position to prove that you was a Kobe or to prove that you was one of the greats in the game. Right. He's always angry. He's always mad.
He didn't maximize his particular opportunity.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, listen, when a person's thankful for what they receive, then you would think if you're thankful for something, you would maximize the position. You would max out. If you're a teacher, max it out. If you're a brother, max out being a brother. Max out all the benefits that come with being a brother.
Yeah.
And whatever you've been given by the Most High.
He said, but often the Most High said, our people just run, wax, fat, and kick. Yeah. We get a position, we get into a seat of authority, and then we get relaxed and we're comfortable. And then we take that. We lose that edge of discipline. Yeah. And then we start opening the door for BS and start opening the door for pleasure and foolishness.
Yeah.
But this is why the Most High makes brothers have to like live in tar pits. Like David had to go through hell. You're the king, but you're not going to be the crown for a long time. Or you have to create a stretch or a course for a man to overcome.
Or when we got effeminate, and when we had all of our goods and substance. Yeah. Remember all those raiders would come in and take all our furniture out and take our crops out. We end up hiding underground in caves out of fear of these people coming raiding again out. Yeah. That's what happens when you don't appreciate the position the Most High gives you. But let's read verse 5 again.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
How do you strive lawfully? Read on.
The husbandman that laboreth must be first partakers of the fruits.
Listen, before you sit back here and get crowned, you have to do all the dirty work. And you have to do the dirty work properly.
That's not glorious.
It's not glorious. You got to do all the work, all the hard work before, in order to strive lawfully.
People love the crown. People hate the labor.
Kind of. A lot of people want to get to the podium but don't want to learn how to serve. How are you going to teach them how to learn how to serve? Right? That's one of the first things you got to do. You got to serve, follow, and be in order.
Another information.
I'm a priest. No, you're not. Because even the priest had to learn to do it the right way and serve and follow. Obviously, the priest Jesus didn't follow, didn't serve, didn't put the necessary work to get acknowledged by the person who was going to crown the next leader. He was obviously not good enough. and didn't do enough work to get the call.
So now my job is to look for a different path, an alternate route. Now I gotta go to the nations.
Exactly.
Now I gotta go to outside. Now I gotta go to the witches.
Bogoses.
Bogoses. But I'm saying people just, I'm gonna tap into witchcraft. I'm gonna tap into foreigners. I'm gonna tap into some exotic method that's outside the spirit.
Instead of just being obedience and fixing what's society.
Yeah.
This is how Israel runs all the time. They don't strive lawfully. We run, we do what we want to do, and we quit. And then we sit back and say the government was messed up, or the leader was messed up, or the guy had it out.
The teacher, the coach, the cop.
Yep.
The elder.
It's always that. It's never you. It's never you.
And I love the Most High. He enforces accountability at all times.
Kind of. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. Consider what I say.
Yeah, we better consider what the Most High is saying. Read on.
And the Lord give thee understanding in all things.
That means that if you don't consider what he says, that means you don't have understanding.
You're going to keep
losing. Have
losing.
these long arguments and councils that go for 3-4 hours with people that don't consider the scriptures in the first place.
Well,
if I consider the book and I'm looking for answers, then the understanding comes a little bit easier.
Yeah. Let's go Luke 14. Verse 7 through 11.
Luke chapter 14, verse 7. And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden, when he marked how they chose out the chief rooms, saying unto them, When thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him.
It's so important to sit back here and put it in the hands of the Most High to get elevated. This is all about putting it in the hands of the Most High to elevate yourself.
And it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing when you sit back here and have a higher opinion of yourself than what you really are.
Yeah.
Versus sitting back here, take the low seat and allow the Spirit to elevate you out. That's how we're all supposed to operate. This guy, Jesus, wasn't called. He didn't get the call and he didn't get the memo. Now, if this guy, John, was wicked, if he was the wicked one, don't you think the Most High will remove him out the way?
Yeah.
If he was such a bad leader and such a bad lawyer,
yeah,
then you know what? Most High will remove that guy out the way. And if you were meant to be that guy, he would do what? He would elevate you. That's the spiritual way to look at it.
If I'm spiritual.
If I'm spiritual.
And if I'm spiritual, I look at it and say, if I should have been in the position, then the Most High would have already put me there. Obviously, if I'm not there.
And if I'm not there, I got things to work. Well, while the Most High is going to judge whoever he's going to judge, maybe I need to work on what's inside of me.
Let me fix some things in me.
There's a lot of things in me I got to fix. And that's how you have to neutralize that pride and anger that we all dabble with.
But it's easier to say who shouldn't be in a position than it is for me to say I got work to do.
It's easier on the ego.
It's easier on my ego.
So let's continue. Verse 9.
Verse 9. And he that bade thee, and him come and say to thee, Give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room.
Who wants to sit back here and say, listen, bro, this wasn't your seat, dog.
Get out.
Go sit in the little kids table over there, right? With the young folks, man.
Over there?
Yeah. Hey, man, I got a brother. This is a spot, man. This is a spot.
And you got a plate of food right in front of you.
Yeah, walk down with the plate in your hand. Well, first of all, that plate wasn't for you in the first place.
It wasn't your plate.
Listen, that steak wasn't for you, right? That was special steak, right? You weren't supposed to get the T-bone. Exactly. You're supposed to get the Salisbury over there. Right? There's Salisbury over there for you. There's that round little tough piece of meat.
Well, a hamburger helper, that's right down there.
Nobody wants to help her out. But this is the point.
That's like somebody kicking you out of VIP section in the club. Like, y'all in the VIP. Get out the VIP section.
So you go to the Spurs game and you sneak down to get the seats, the fancy seats, like and the white man was just 30 minutes late out, and he had to sit back here and get out the white man.
He got his whole family too. He got the kids. He got the kids. He got the family.
And you sit by your high side like you.
He got all his. He got his compatriots from work. He got his whole work crew there. Business partners there. They're all looking at you like
You sitting
you know that ticket didn't say that. You know you read the wrong ticket. You know you don't belong.
Exactly.
Get back up there in them nosebleeds.
All the way over the nosebleeds.
It's racism.
Listen, how do those shoot shirts that far up? The shirt don't listen. You know you bad when the shirts
the little shirt cannon.
Them shirts ain't getting to you. Listen, you know you way too far when the shirt guy it's not far enough. Listen, it wasn't meant to be for you. The can only goes to really higher paying customers. Anyway, so let's read verse 10.
Verse 10. But when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, Friend, go up higher. Then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee.
He's letting us know, stop making yourself out to be more than who you are. If you always remind yourself that you're a servant, then you know what? And that you're not above anything, then the Most High will elevate you. But when you start walking around here thinking that you're more important than what you really are, or you get this idea that you deserve more than what you really deserve, that's when the Most High start knocking you down a few pegs.
It's one thing when you think you're above what you deserve, and then on top of that, you despise the people in the seat where you want to be at.
Exactly. It's a double whammy.
It's a double whammy.
But that's all based upon the person who doesn't properly see himself or herself in the right light. There's a delusion.
There's a delusion. And the question you got to ask yourself is, well, maybe the Most High agree that I deserve to be in that position. Because I can tell myself, I deserve to be somewhere. But that don't mean the Most High agrees with that.
Bro, and the truth is, you are what your record says it is. You are what your position says it is. You can sit back here and lie all you want. Where you are in your life is where you are in your life. We think we're more than that. And this is what's happening with Jesus. This priest thinks he deserves to be somewhere that the Most High did not place him. So now he's sitting back here working side deals, causing tumults in the nation, causing tumults in the priesthood to get a position he didn't deserve.
And this is the origin of side camps too.
Oh, no doubt.
Listen, this is a relevant topic because you get guys that say, "Well, I'm rejecting this position, and I will start my own thing. I will be the king of my own castle." And they end up
destroying people's lives.
They end up doing and creating a warped version of what they came from.
Yes, and they destroy people's lives.
Yeah,
but they don't care.
Yep. Just another verse on that. Numbers chapter 12, verse 7.
Say 12 and 7?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers chapter 12 and verse 7.
Go for it.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Numbers chapter 12 and verse 7. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house.
So here's another situation where you have sibling rivalry about decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You got Miriam, sister of Moses. You got Aaron, brother of Moses, telling Moses what he can and cannot do. And the Most High had to come pay a visit and say, hey, listen, you don't have the authority to speak against Moses because Moses is faithful. He didn't even say you're faithful. He didn't say, Aaron, you're faithful. Remember who made the 2 golden calves? It was Aaron. He didn't say, Miriam, you're faithful. He said, Moses is faithful. Read on.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth.
He said, me and Moses have a different relationship than I have with anybody else. Then the Most High is having to remind the other siblings, hey, I have a special relationship with Moses that I don't have with y'all. Read on.
Even apparently.
He said, even apparently, clearly, read on.
and not in dark speeches.
See, the Most High don't speak to Moses in visions, in parables, or symbolism. The Most High tells Moses his plan clear as day. He doesn't have to go to sleep, go into a vision, and then have a vision about animals, and then wake up and have to decipher what was the dream about and explain it in detail. He said, man, I speak to Moses apparently. I mean, it's clear. It's not in symbolism. It's not in at night, and he's in a deep sleep. Read on.
And not in dark speeches, and the similitude of the Lord shall he behold.
He said, and Moses is the only one that I allowed to see my similitude. Moses was the only person that saw the silhouette of the Most High from behind.
God.
Nobody else was allowed to even visually get a glimpse of the Most High. Read on.
Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
He says, so knowing that I have a special relationship with Moses, knowing that me and Moses are on good terms because of his faithfulness, why aren't you afraid to speak against Moses? Why are you not without fear to speak against Moses? Read on.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them.
So all I did by questioning the people that are in a seat of authority above me, all I do is piss the Most High off and make him angry. Because who am I to question the Most High for who he put over me?
Okay.
Read on.
And he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous.
And he said, go ahead and take that while I'm out of here. I'm going to go ahead and leave.
Party gift.
This is a parting gift. I'm going to go ahead and leave back to my abode. But I want you to think about who you're speaking against while you got that leprosy on your body. When the Most High left, her skin left too. Her pigmentation left too. All her pigmentation left when that chariot left. It took her skin color with it.
And that's embarrassing because it's apparent.
Yeah.
It's apparent.
Yeah, it's now your appearance is just, you look diseased.
Yep. And I forgot the word in the Josephus, when people had those skin issues, it was a direct correlation with their spirit and their mind. It started with the letter D. You remember? I'm trying to think of the word. Gosh dang it! Don't worry, but keep going. It was a word that connected the skin.
Distempter.
A distemper mind. It was a disconnected mind. And the skin was messed up to connect that distemper mind. So it said Miriam got a distemper on her, right?
Yeah.
And the Most High left that white skin as a symbolism that she's throwed off. Her outlook and her mind is negative, right? Because of how she's looking at Moses.
You know the Most High said, look at yourself.
Look at you.
look at
Now you got something to look at.
Because now you got something to look at.
Yeah.
Now you got something to look at. You're looking at your body like, man, where all my skin go?
I'm messed up.
Yeah.
You're going to be thinking about it.
Yeah, maybe it was your fault.
Now I'm gonna give you something to look at.
Yeah.
Now you got to figure out where your skin go. Where all your color go?
Yep.
All your colors gone? He said he made her leprous. Go ahead.
As snow.
Not yet. Not yet. Oh no, yeah, it does. This is white as snow.
It's in verse 10, 12 and 10.
Verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
And both of them looked at, and then he had to tell her, listen, oh my Lord. The Most High must be angry.
Yeah, bro.
Because we were speaking against somebody that the Most High has a better relationship with than myself.
You know, Aaron was like this.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll be all right.
You know he had to check himself.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, he could have both of us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because they was both talking against Moses.
Yep.
But this is what happens when you don't agree with who the Most High puts in charge. The Most High give you something to look at.
Yep.
He'll get you. He'll find a way for you to take that focus off the scrutiny off the people in front of you and put it on yourself. How about you fix yourself first?
Yep.
And Aaron, you know you can't talk. You sat here but a golden calf, bro.
Two of them.
Two of them.
Yep.
You really can't speak on. You really don't even open your mouth.
Kinda.
But if I was in Moses' position, I would have did this. When you had the opportunity, what were you doing?
Moses left.
They can calf.
Moses left Aaron in charge for like 30 days, 40
And
days.
the people punked him out. People punked him out. He got bullied quick as hell out. They told me to make it. I made it. I just made it.
It appeared. It said it appeared.
Yeah,
It said, and these calves appeared.
Yeah,
like they just came out of nowhere.
They just showed up.
So we already know what he's gonna do with the leadership.
He
Right?
gonna cave out.
He'll fold on these people.
Okay, guys, let's walk back to Egypt.
Yeah.
They said they wanted it. I can't control them. Anyway, God,
That's really what people do, though.
I know.
Those kings, if they didn't hold their position, they catered to the weakness of the people. It's over.
It happened all the time. That was when Zedekiah told Jeremiah. He said, "Man, he says they gonna sit back here and they gonna abuse me if I don't sit back and cater to them." Anyway, done. Is there more there?
That's it.
Okay, let's from there go to Matthew chapter 12.
Well, can we read verse 11?
You got a verse? Okay.
In that same point, I just want to read one thing.
What do you want?
It's not even nothing major.
What do you want?
Where we were at? Numbers
Okay.
12 and 10. It's under 11. I just want to make a comment on one point.
Numbers chapter 12 and verse 10.
Uh-huh.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. And behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
Read on.
And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly.
Stop right there. This is the only time I admit my flaws, right?
Yeah.
I was foolish. Only when it's super duper obvious can I admit I be messing up. But what about when it's not obvious? Is you don't say these things. You don't hear these speeches unless you call a person red-handed out or white-skinned out.
It's truth.
I said, because he said, lay not this sin upon us. It was only on Miriam at that moment. But he realized, I'm in the midst of this.
I don't want to suffer. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to lose my color. But the point is, people only bring these things out when it's super obvious and they're getting stung in public. They're publicly stung. Now I'm going to be humble. That was it, bro.
Yeah. When the Most High got to intervene, now I want to. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should be okay with my position.
Come on. When the calamity is obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Come. So let's go real quick. Matthew 12, verse 22 to 28.
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed and said,
"You cutting off
Yeah.
certain."
Mm-hmm.
Is not this the son
Read it from the
of
top.
David?"
Read it from the top again. My apologies.
Salah.
I lost you for a second.
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 22. Then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed and said, Is not this the son of David?
So they're realizing Christ is doing this major healing. Read on.
But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, This fellow doth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils.
So either he's pulling out devils because the devil pulled out the devil. That's what the Pharisees said. Anything to discredit Christ.
Yeah.
Because the people are sitting back here and starting to attract themselves to Christ because of the miracles he's doing. Pharisees got to sit back and throw salt and say, yeah, man, he's just taking out devils because he got devil in him. And he's using the devil to pull out the devil.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all. Read on.
And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
Well, the funny thing is they didn't even say it out to the public. They were just thinking it and kind of mutter it to themselves. But he's like, every kingdom that's against each other is not going to stand. Exactly. So how am I If I'm in the spirit of Satan, how am I going to stand if I keep pulling out spirits that serve me in the first place?
Yeah.
He says, I can't stand that way. Nobody can stand in a city or a place that's constantly working to tear against one another.
Against his own momentum.
Exactly. Read on.
And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom
The
stand?
kingdom can't stand if Satan is fighting against Satan. Just like what's happening right now, John fighting against Jesus, the Levite priesthood is not going to stand. It's going to fall apart if they keep fighting. And it's going to bring shame and pain to the nation if these two factions in the priesthood keep going to war with each other. It's not going to end well. Read on.
And if I, by Beelzebub, cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore they shall be your judges.
Mm-hmm.
But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of the Most High, then the kingdom of the Most High is come unto you.
The only purpose of going to this verse is just to explain that you can't have all this disruption and this fighting at the top and expect this house to be in order. James and John, or John and Jesus should have let go and just moved on and let John do his priesthood and let the Most High work things the way he worked them.
That's another reason why we are in the position of servitude.
Khan. And as we read on, and I'm not doing it now because it's getting too late. I don't want to switch into another section of class when we're almost at 2 o'clock. When it goes, these arguments escalate into some real issues.
Yeah.
And it has ramifications for the priesthood and the people. So we're going to go into that next week. Is there any other verse y'all want to pull out?
No, that's it.
Yeah, we're going to shut it down at that point, send our prayers up to the Most High, and shut it down for the Sabbath day. Any questions online? Anybody online got any questions?
So just a quick recap. So this class was to show how even though we just got the temple restored, we got the walls built, and we're back in Jerusalem. Over 50,000 people are back in Jerusalem.
Yep.
People have been handed out their ancestral land. Priests are now going back in the priest office.
Yep.
But the corruption has not left.
Nope.
They're bringing filth right back into a fresh start.
Yep. There was poor offerings, and then because we gave the Most High poor offerings, he had Bogosa sit back and tax the priests heavily. And on top of the taxes and the priests getting taxed heavily, now because the priests didn't enjoy doing their job, didn't find pleasure in serving the Most High, now he's allowing infighting amongst the priesthood to fester and grow. Now there's one son, Jesus, that's going against the other son that was ordained to be the high priest, John, and the guy Jesus is lining himself with Bogosus, the general, to try to usurp John in the first place. You don't think John is already aware of this? He's tied in with Bogosus. Bogosus is giving all the priests hell. John, in John's mind, it's a matter of time before Jesus brings Bogosus in here under military authority and just takes me out of my spot.
Yeah.
Think about that's what's in his head. Think about that, and as we go on to next week's class,
And this is
the threat that this guy Bogosus is going to take me over with the military backing him,
Yeah.
and not really having a conscience and faith in the Most High that he's going to take over him also, because there's two sides to this. There's the ambitions and envy, the ambitions and envy of Jesus, and then there is the fear and doubt and a panic that John has in his position. And they both handled it completely wrong. Okay? But if there are no other questions online,
Just one more verse.
You got a verse, cool.
Yeah, Jeremiah chapter 23.
Not so fast, y'all. Jeremiah 23 and what?
Start at verse 33.
To what thing? 38?
Yeah, down to 38. Yeah, we'll cut it off. Jeremiah chapter 33, 23 verse 33.
Okay, there's somebody here to read.
That one? Mike, you got it?
23.
And 33.
Yeah,
Verse 33.
Jeremiah 23 and 33.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah chapter 23 and 33. And when this people or prophet or priest shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of the Lord?
Stop. He says the Most High doesn't care if that question comes from a prophet, it comes from the people, or it comes from the priest. The Most High don't want to hear that out of nobody's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Most High doesn't want to be looked at and served as a burden.
Done.
Because this is the whole reason in Malachi, they start giving lame sacrifices. When you start looking at the work of the Lord like a burden, then the quality of your service starts to diminish. Then it easily shows you don't love your job. And how many restaurants do you get bad service where they make the restaurant look bad? They may have some great food, but the service sucks. And they give a bad name to the restaurant that has good food. And that's the same thing that a person can do. That's the same thing that a priest could do. That's the same thing he said that a prophet could do. Any of the Most High's children could give him a bad name the minute they start looking at doing the work as a problem.
As a burden, yep.
It's a problem to do the work of the Lord. It's a problem to be here to deal with his people. I'm suffering. The Most High is making me suffer to do this work. Read on.
Thou shalt then say unto them, what, brother? What burden?
They said, what burden? You're supposed to correct people that have a bad outlook at serving the Lord.
It's a good mentality, yeah.
You're supposed to check them. As if doing the work of the Lord is a problem.
Kind of.
So you like going to jail in the world then. Or you like having STDs in the world. Or you like doing things in the world, getting caught up in your life where Satan was had all access to you. But you didn't mind that. You didn't mind the chaos that the street life bring to you.
No complaint about that.
You ain't complaining about that.
To the game. You got to charge that to the game, man.
That was the good old days. That was the good old days.
The glory days.
That was the glory days.
But you want to look at the work like it's a burden. You're supposed to check a person that looks at doing anything for the Most High in a bad light. Read on.
I will even forsake you, said the Lord.
He said, because you know what? For having that negative outlook towards me, the Most High said, I'm going to forsake you. Read on.
And as for the prophet and the priests and the people that shall say the burden of the Lord, I will even punish that man.
He said, it don't matter their rank. The Most High don't care about rank. He don't care about position. From the top all the way to the bottom, nobody has the right to look at the work of the Lord as a problem. He said, if it's a prophet, it's a priest, I'll punish him too. Read on.
I will punish that man and his house.
It's an annual house. I'm gonna get you and your kids, your family, your wife. I'm gonna get everybody. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
For real.
I'm gonna get all of them.
The real one, exactly.
Read on.
Thus shall he say, everyone to his neighbor, and everyone to his brother, what hath the Lord answered, and what hath the Lord spoken? And the burden.
You know what that means? That means instead of saying, what's the burden of the Lord? You should go back and change your perspective and say, what does the Lord want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Versus what I got to do now. There's a difference of saying, what you want from me now?
Yep.
Versus saying, what did the Lord ask from us? What does the Lord want from me?
Mm-hmm.
That's a different mentality of how you approach doing the work of the Lord.
Yep.
Yeah, because you can call somebody for help, and they can pick up the phone and say,
what you want?
What you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want now? Why are you calling me now? For what? Or would you not rather hear, how can I help you?
Yeah.
How can I be of service to you? That's what the Most High is saying that he would rather have.
Yeah.
He don't want somebody saying, what's the burden of the Lord today? Obviously, you don't like the position. Read on.
What hath the Lord answered?
He said, but that's the way the Most High. What does the Lord want? Did the Lord reign? What does he want from me today? I'll be happy to do whatever the Lord wants me to do. Read on.
And what hath the Lord spoken?
Go ahead.
And the burden of the Lord shall ye mention no more.
He said, I don't want to hear no more about the work of the Lord being a burden. He said, no more, man.
You know what's crazy? Because the work of the Lord is bad. What do you think is worse? Doing the work of the Lord or walking from Babylon, walking from Jerusalem to Babylon? That's a burden. Walking from Jerusalem to Babylon, that's real work. That's suffering.
Or picking cotton for the white man all day, from the time you're a child till the time you die out in the cotton field.
Kinda.
You didn't mind yet? You'd rather have it that way,
brother.
You either work for the Most High or work for your enemy. You gonna work for somebody.
And that's what he keeps showing us. If you don't want to give the Most High his offerings, the white man's gonna get your offerings.
Yeah.
You gonna lose one way or the other.
You're gonna give some strength and some sweat.
Yes.
To somebody.
Or money to somebody.
Yeah.
You're gonna serve somebody.
So you're gonna serve me or you're gonna serve the world.
Yeah.
Or you'll be in this prison system and then he'll tell you what time to get up in the morning. Yeah. He'll tell you what you're gonna eat on the menu.
You still gonna work there too.
He gonna tell you what lockdown and you got a 23-hour lockdown.
And that hour they gonna let the maniacs have fun out there.
And then the guards, you screaming for guards for some help.
Oh, bro.
And the guards gonna turn the other cheek.
I have talked. You're a burden to me. I'm on break. I have talked to guards and they say, "Yeah, man, I just let the guys have their fun." I was like, "Whoa, that's not good."
And we got some maximum security facilities in Texas. We got some medium.
Yeah.
And we even got some light ones.
Yeah.
Down in Whacking Hut, I think that was a medium.
Yeah.
Because we used to always meet the guards.
No, the guy I'm talking to was from Dominguez.
Oh, he's from Dominguez.
He was Dominguez. He was a Hamite. He was always going to Ingram Mall. Like, he's always about we used to talk. He says, "Yeah, man, I let the inmates have their fun, man. We just whatever on the screams, because they scream. I don't care. We don't care." Damn, what the hell? I was like, bro, he said, let the guys have their fun. Like, that's fun?
Yeah.
That's a good time, right?
But you look at doing the work of the Lord like it's a problem.
Exactly.
Read.
For every man's words shall be his burden.
He said, you know what? I'm going to make you eat your words. That's what the Most High said. However you look at me, and however you look at me and what comes out your mouth pertaining to me, he said, that's exactly what you're going to be your burden. I'm going to make that turn right upon you. You're going to eat your words. You're going to find out what a burden is. Read on.
For ye have perverted the words of the living power of the Lord of hosts, our power.
Because you make the Most High look bad when you talk about the Most High certain ways. When you have an attitude at the work of the Lord, you pervert the service of the Lord.
Yeah.
You make it look like being in the truth is a problem.
Kinda.
Like dealing with men is a problem.
That's why your affect is important. It's what you say, is how you roll, is how you be. Your whole vibe has to be up.
Yeah, we pervert the truth this way.
Yeah.
You still with them brothers, huh?
Yeah.
You letting them brothers tell you what to do?
Yeah. Yeah. I knew it was. Look at his face. He's unhappy.
Yeah.
He don't want to be there.
You ain't taking care of yourself.
Yeah, but it's funny that people.
You done fell off.
Yeah, they fell off.
Fell off, dog.
Yeah.
But it's funny because the people, a lot of people will hope you're sad. What I start picking up is people are hoping I'm unhappy.
Yeah.
So there's something about this. There's something about that.
Yeah.
Listen, I must be doing the right thing then. If you're hoping I'm not doing well, then I must be doing the right. I must be in the right place.
Bro, it's the truth.
Read on.
Verse 37.
Read down to 40.
Thus shalt thou say to the prophet, what hath the Lord answered thee? And what hath the Lord spoken?
Go ahead.
But since ye say,
the Most High is telling us how he wants us to look at doing, when anybody asks us about the work of the Lord, how we're supposed to verbalize it and what mentality to take in expressing us doing this work. The expressions we're supposed to carry. Read on.
But since ye say, the burden of the Lord.
But once again, we only look at the bad side or the downside, the inconvenient side. We highlight the inconvenient side of doing the Lord's work. Read on.
The burden of the Lord. Therefore, thus said the Lord, because ye say this word, the burden of the Lord.
Because the Most High is telling you he don't like that. Read on.
And I have sent that dwell in the desert.
No, read on. No, you skipped something, bro. You're in verse.
Oh, I
you're,
thought it was
you're,
38.
yeah.
Stuff together. I'm sorry.
That didn't make no sense.
Yeah.
Because he said the bread of the Lord dwell in the desert. I'm like,
Yeah, that too.
that might happen for real coming soon. Huh?
Yeah.
With that war classic drug.
Verse 39.
39.
That's real.
Stuff together. Okay, I'll read right here. It says, because ye say this word, the burden of the Lord,
Yeah.
and I have sent unto you, saying, ye shall not say the burden of the Lord.
Read on.
Therefore, behold, I, even I, will forget you.
He said, I will, the Most High said, I will utterly, completely forget you. Anybody that's not looking at the truth the right way, the Most High said, I will forget you completely. The Most High hates people that have the wrong outlook towards his service, doing his service.
It's everything, man.
Like a bad employee. You don't want to be here, get out of here.
Listen, that's what Hebrews 3 and 4 is about. Being hard-hearted, just not being happy, serving the Lord.
Yeah. God, we have a stiff heart and a stiff mind regarding his work.
Yep.
Read on.
And I will forsake you.
He said, what?
I will forsake you.
Yeah, the Most High got something for you too. I'm going to let you go. Read on.
And the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence.
That's what he's saying. He's like, listen, if you want to sit back and complain, I'm just going to remove you out of the city. You can be on a long up north trip out to Babylon. That's a long trip out. And you're going to be there for 70 years. You'll be your kids will come back. That's what's going to happen to you. That's real.
Finish that.
Verse 40. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you.
Go ahead.
And a perpetual shame.
We just read in Malachi that the Most High said, I'll smear dung on your face.
No.
Now he said, I'm going to put this dung on your face for a perpetual shame. You always going to have a dookie face.
Everlasting poop face.
Everlasting poop face, man.
For real.
The Most High said, that's for anybody. From the top down, nobody has the right to look at the service of the Lord in a negative fashion. Nobody does. Is that it?
Nope.
Go ahead.
Which shall not be forgotten.
And they said this everlasting shame will never be forgotten. The Most High always going to hold it against you because you just couldn't serve him the right way.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective, man.
It's always that.
You know, and it's the same way. Like you get service from people all the time. You go to the mechanic shop. You want good service. You want to be treated right. You go shopping in the mall. You want good service. You go to the department store. You want good service. You go to a restaurant. You want good service. Service is everything, man. And if you can't serve the Lord, the Most High said, no problem. But I got something for you.
Yep. Yeah. And now what we want to read next week is just extreme emotional decisions, bringing more shame to the priesthood and bringing more pain and suffering to the people. We'll go into that next week. Okay? Let's send our prayers up real quick. Amaja. Everyone. Amaja will point you out your Rosh Shalom.
Stand and face Jerusalem.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
please listen to us right now.
Please listen to us right now.
Send Michael
and
the righteous angels to watch over, bless, heal, protect, and make strong the people of Yahshua. Also send unto us much wisdom, much knowledge, much understanding, much patience, much faith, much brotherhood, and much love, spiritual power, and forgive all of our sins. Yahweh Shai, come quickly. For indeed is our hope. Always. And forever. Amen. Back up. Watch out. Hashem Yahushai.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai that gives to us the law. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai that gives us the light to see.
Barak Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai.
Barak Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai.
Nothing in all.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the ram's horn to call the people.
Barak Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai.
Barak Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai.
Nothing in all. Shemai. Zayat. Lamashak. Yashar.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the olive oil to anoint Israel.
Psalms 92. It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord.
It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord.
And to sing praise unto thy name.
And to sing praise unto thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
To show forth thy loving kindness in the morning.
To show forth thy loving kindness in the morning.
And thy faithfulness every night.
And thy faithfulness every night.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
And upon the psaltery.
And upon the psaltery.
Upon the harp.
Upon the harp.
With the solemn sound.
With the solemn sound.
For thou, Yahweh, has made me glad through thy work.
Has made me glad through thy works.
I will triumph. In the works of thy hands.
In the works of thy hands.
O Yahweh, how great are thy works.
How great are thy works.
And thy thoughts are very deep.
And thy thoughts are very deep.
A brutish man knoweth not.
A brutish man knoweth not.
Neither doth the fool understand it.
Neither doth the fool understand it.
When the wicked spring is the grass.
When the wicked spring is the grass.
And when all the workers of iniquity do flourish.
And when all the workers of iniquity do flourish.
It is that they shall be destroyed forever.
It is that they shall be destroyed forever.
But thou, Yahweh, art most high forevermore.
Art most high forevermore.
For lo, my enemies.
For lo, thine enemies.
For lo, thine enemies.
For lo, thine enemies.
O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies.
For lo, thine enemies.
Shall perish.
Shall perish.
All the workers of iniquity.
All the workers of iniquity.
Shall be scattered.
Shall be scattered.
But my horn shalt thou exalt.
But my horn shalt thou exalt.
Like the horn of a unicorn.
Like the horn of a unicorn.
I shall be anointed.
I shall be anointed.
With fresh oil.
With fresh oil.
Mine eye also shall see.
Mine eye also shall see.
My desire.
My desire.
And my enemies.
And my enemies.
And my ears shall hear.
And my ears shall hear.
My desire.
My desire.
Of the wicked.
Of the wicked.
That rise up against me.
That rise up against me.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree.
The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree.
He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon.
He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon.
Those that be planted in the house of the Lord.
Those that be planted in the house of the Lord.
Shall flourish in the courts of our power.
Shall flourish in the courts of our power.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall be fat and flourishing.
They shall be fat and flourishing.
To show that the Lord is upright.
To show that the Lord is upright.
He is my rock.
He is my rock.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Psalms 133. Shayar.
Hamahawa.
Laduad. Hana. Ma. Tuwab. Wama. Na'ayam. Shabbat. Akim. Gum. Yachad. Kashamad. Hatuwab. Ayo. Hara'ash. Yarad. Ayo. Hazakwad. Zakwad. Aharad. Shayarad. Ayo. Payat. Madawath Yarad. Katar. Shayarad. Ayo. Hawaria. Tazayawa. Kaya. Sham. Tazawat. Yahweh. Habaraka. Kayayim. Haram. Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Psalms 133 in English. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirt of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life evermore. Amen.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Wachno. Washralit. Wabiat. Poyim. 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 Rakta Yahweh. Rakta Yahushua. Rakta Yahweh. Rakta Yahushua. Rakta Yahushua. Rakta Yahushua. All knowledge. All wisdom. All understanding. All mercy. All patience. All long suffering. All power. From Yahweh. All power. From Yahweh. All power. From Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. The water. Aman. So, look.
Saluting out in the heavenly order. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, okay, Mashallah, Men of Israel, Masha, Barak,
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua Barakam.
Kwame Shalom,
Kwame Shalom.
Kwame Shalom,
Kwame Shalom.
Kwame Shalom,
Kwame Shalom.
Top, turn and face sisters, please stand. Saluting out the daughters of Zion, Men of Israel, Masha, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Barakam Ba'ashem Yahshua. Yes, what's up? Dismiss. Fall out.
Yes. Is church over already?